Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Hearts of Stone. We're here to play Blades in the Dark, and so excited to be back. Thank you for joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon. We're going to get into our game here in a second, but first, before we get started, talk about the other stuff we've got going on the channel this week. If you're watching us live on Twitch, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I believe our next regularly scheduled live stream will be on Monday. We'll be back with Red Jenny, our Dragon Age TTRPG game that I run that as well. Lots of familiar faces there too. That is every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So please come join us for that. Otherwise, if you want to see everything else we've got going on the channel throughout the week, you can check out our schedule, which is below our faces. If you're watching us live, just scroll on down. You can see all the games we play, who and what and when and where and why. Some of those questions are answered. Others are left up to your interpretation. We have lots of stuff for you to join us watching as well. We don't really have anything super new going on this week, I believe. So instead, I won't belabor the point, and we'll go and let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight. Starting as always with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van, but Wilder, pretty much wherever you can find people on the internet. I'm on Mastodon, I'm on Blue Sky. Mostly, I'm hanging out in the GGK Discord talking about random bullshit and streaming on the internet several days a week. I'm live on twitch.tv/lbhackemup on Sunday nights playing the Alien RPG, and I'm here several days a week as well playing in games and running Dungeons & Dragons on Saturday mornings. But tonight, I am playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
Hey, I'm Christine Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid. Not doing much in the socials right now. Have to rebuild a lot of them. But you can also find me in the GGK Discord, usually hanging out. I'm here several nights a week, and this evening I am playing Salome. Salome is our spider.
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ. You can catch me on RJ222, Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, and TikTok. I've been posting a lot of TikTok content recently, and I've been working really hard, and I think they've been coming out great. You can catch me over at the Indoor Adventures on Mondays. Indoor Adventures on Monday.
I like that I said please clap for you, and you're the only one that clapped.
I know, that's what I laugh.
Oh, your hands were down, though. I couldn't see them.
Indoor Adventures.
It looks different on the overlay.
Different days. Today I'm playing Fume, he, him. I'm also he, him. Goodbye.
And that just leaves me. Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D, and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventures stream. Today, I'm going to be playing as Grackle, who is our hound.
DanaeKeener.com. Yes! I haven't gotten it in weeks. Yes!
Hi, everyone. I'm Val. You can find me at the Cracks Crown, working around the internet. I'm here Thursdays through Mondays playing and running games. Other than the shows you see me on today and running a game on Monday, I also over on LB Hackle's channel along with Van playing in that Alien game that he mentioned. So lots of things. But today, I'm going to be running a Blades in the Dark. Are you all ready to get started? All righty. God, I always have such a trouble doing a recap for this game because so much happens in a single session. It's almost impossible for me to recap. We're gonna have to come up with a better recap system where maybe we just do a
You could use my recap system. Don't do it.
Don't do it and just continue. Everyone remembers what happened last time. No, but y'all done a job. You got more turf. And then we did some downtime activities. Basically summarizes it.
We got the gambling den.
Yeah, you got your gambling den. Or I should say, you get more turf. You got more claims, stakes, claims. I think it's claims.
Claims.
The terminology of this game is going to take me a bit to get, but
it's
yes.
A claim.
Yes. Got another claim on your map. You also went up to level a first tier organization, a first tier faction.
True.
So you're officially out of the 0 category, which is very exciting. Yeah, stepping up in the world. And then yeah, like I said, we did a lot of downtime, most of which was just y'all recovering from 2 kind of back-to-back jobs and the stress that had the toll that had taken on you. So where we pick up today is in some free play. And I actually have scenes, but I also want to know what y'all want to get up to because that might just tie in with whatever I have planned. So let's start with if there's anything that the 4 of you have planned that you want to get going today.
I know Glass needs to return the book to their
Sugar daddy.
client. There we go.
Old
yeah,
buddy, old pal.
client. Oh, the old buddy, the old pal. But I wanted to do a little bit with that because we did establish that the language in that book is very similar to the language in Salome's book.
Interesting. Okay. I'm debating how we deal with that because here's my thought process on it. You have a limited amount of time to return
Yes.
it because we said, I think I set the timer that after the job you would have to
Yes.
turn that in right away. Normally I'd say something like trying to do anything if you're trying to like, if it's going to be anything more than just like a cursory like read through it, it would be a project. So I would give you, I'd allow maybe just a basic gather information and your role is going to be very limited. Or on the flip side, if you wanted to, do y'all even have any coin to do additional downtime actions right now? Yeah.
But I do get. No, we already used it. Never mind.
Yeah, some of us might have personal coin, but the crew is out.
Because
I
we rid
will
our tier.
Spend it all
I'll
on the
s-
tier.
I'll say this too. I'll let you do, you can just do for free. I'll let you do a basic gather information. I can give you a little bit off of that. If you want to do any more like significant study of it, trying to figure things out, you'd probably have
Could
to
I
acquire the asset again.
Do something along the lines of taking some time to literally like either do a etching or just like copy down like a full couple of pages of it.
That would
and
probably be
then-
a project.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll gather info
but
then.
You can, what I'm saying is like the book doesn't stop existing. We can do it. You can do like next time if you wanted to follow up on it more. You can do another like acquire asset to get it back, either through Glass asking to borrow
borrow
it
it.
again, or Salome asking to get it
Or
back again.
maybe Glass could introduce Salome to their client.
That too. Yeah, there's lots of options to get there. I just don't want you to think, I don't want you to worry that I'm like taking it off the table.
Okay.
It's something that you may have to put a little more resources into.
I have some coin that I'd be willing to put towards that for Salome.
If you want to do that, then what I would allow is I said we would do a acquire asset right now that you could create a like duplicate of it or create something to essentially keep the book with you. And that would give you the option to start another project with it.
Okay.
During your next downtime.
I also want to leverage it. You could ask Fume for help. Study is my second highest stat.
Could we do that? Could we do both? Like do an initial study and then
Yeah.
if Grackle is open to that, I can ask her too.
But with spending some stress and calling a flashback of Fume like power reading through the book.
I won't make you spend stress. Let's do a let's divide this into 2 pieces then. Let's do essentially we're doing we're spending a coin for 1 down type activity, which is going to be to acquire the asset of the book again, which is in the rules of Blades in the Dark is totally feasible. And if you do this enough, you get to have like a permanent copy of it essentially. But we're essentially saying in this case, for acquiring the asset, that you're creating some sort of temporary, like you said, like
Copy of it, yeah.
like a temporary copy of it.
Of a couple, even just a couple pages or something.
Yeah, maybe it isn't the full effect of the book, but yeah. I'm down with that.
Okay.
And then if for Fume doing a study or anyone doing a study of the book, that would probably be starting we'd start a project clock, and that would be the process of interpreting it.
Okay.
So let's do that. So the first thing we need to do is acquire an asset. So let me bring that up.
In order to acquire an asset, roll the crew's tier to determine relative quality of temporary asset. You can either get a special item, set of common items, cohort, vehicle, or service. Minimum quality set by GM for certain assets.
Okay. And yeah, the quality of this will essentially determine the effectiveness of it towards getting to your ultimate goal, which is to like compare this language, or I think because Salome, if I'm understanding, is to understand this language. You want to be able to like read it.
Trying to figure less about the book from the client and more about her book. Yeah.
What you're trying to do is establish a Rosetta Stone.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. You've spent the coin to be able to do this. So you'll roll the crew's tier, which in this case is just one die. And you can push yourself if you want to, or you can take assistance from somebody if they wanted to help. Like if you wanted to help you in creating this copy, could take a point of stress to do that, or anybody could spend a point of stress to help.
I'll take a point of stress to help Fume, because I guess it wouldn't matter either way because we still only get to roll one.
Yeah, you're still on the roll. The roll is static, so.
Okay.
Does Fume get something for acquiring an asset, or is it only when you're crafting?
It's only when I'm crafting alchemical items.
Gotcha. Okay.
It could be soon Sparkcraft items if I level up enough.
Ooh, nice.
So
whichever one of you wants to help out the other, it doesn't matter to me.
I'll take the stress since you have two, and
Okay.
just to balance things out.
Okay.
Nice.
So Fume takes 1 point of stress. You can roll 2 dice.
Okay.
Take the higher of the 2.
Come on, buddy. That's a 4 and a 6.
Okay, so a 6 is your tier plus 1, so that is a tier 2 item.
Shit.
Which is pretty good. So that's gonna help you a lot. So you've created this tier 2 item for to study, and your research project is going to be okay, all right, I can see how we work that. So you can add this item as an asset that you've acquired, that you will have until the end of our next downtime period. So next downtime, you can use that item to jumpstart a project clock in order to start to interpret this or create a Rosetta Stone for this language.
Are assets on the crew sheet?
I don't know where y'all put assets, to be frank.
I'll put it in my notes for now.
I'll look
That
around.
works. Yeah, I don't know if there's a spot for them.
Copy. Demon book.
So you can
There's a spot for long-term projects
yeah.
on the progression thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you can decide next time. A thought for you is: do you want to use this asset to jumpstart a clock where you like decipher this language, or do you want to, like, during your next downtime period, start a project clock to acquire this asset permanently, and then have a copy of this book that you can use in perpetuity? So that's something you don't have to decide now.
I'll
That's
think
something
about
to
it.
something to think about.
Think about it.
Okay, so
And then I shall return the book as promptly as possible to Glass.
Perfect. Yeah, so Glass, if you want to take that back to Lord Skurlock.
Sure do.
Thank you for the help, France.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that as a scene? Um,
I kind of want to talk to him and see if he'll tell me about what's in the book.
yeah, if you want to talk to him, then that's fine too. I was thinking if there's anything I wanted from that, but if you want to talk to him, then
Oh,
perfect.
well,
We'll do that.
excuse me.
Yeah, if there, then perfect. Then I get some time to think about if there's
You
anything.
make sure you're getting something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's my job. I gotta think about what I need outside of all your bullshit. All right. Yeah. So you've been to Lord Skurlock's like manor house.
Oh, many
before,
times.
right? Yeah. That's what
He
I
doesn't
thought.
really come to the jewelry box.
That's right. I think I remember us talking about that. Him coming to your place of work is a bit out of the ordinary. Um so yeah, shortly after the job, after you've laid low for a little bit, to let some of the heat die down, recover and rest, you take the book provided or that you had acquired for Lord Skurlock. Oh my god, did I not write down the name of the book?
It's this something of says of 7 demons.
The Binding of 7 Demons, I think.
And their names were Isaac. 1 through 7. I should play that game.
So you head over towards Six Towers. A place that I think because you were just there recently talking to the Dimmer sisters as well.
I find the same gondolier to take me over there.
Lord Skurlock has many like business holdings amongst the city. I mean, it's a very prominent lord in the political sphere machinations of Dustfall, but I think almost exclusively you conduct your business at his personal home, which is in Six Towers. His domicile, his manor, is actually in the like the furthest shore, like the absolute edge of the city. Almost like to the point where the river that surrounds Dustfall, like his manor estate is right up against that river.
He all the way across town.
All the way across town, up against where like hit the backdrop of this like gothic kind of run down looking estate is the lightning fence behind it that keeps out the deadlands beyond, which you can't really see through the fence, but you just get that shimmering ghostly sort of filter to something ominous lurking beyond the outskirts of Dustfall. But his manor house, like many of the estates in Six Towers, it doesn't really keep up external appearances. It doesn't seem that like there isn't a lot of foot traffic in the Six Towers area. It is not a very it's not a well visited area. Most people that live here have done so for a long time, and the actual like presentation and any sort of like public facing businesses of Six Towers have are few and far between. And his manor house is no different. It is an impressive and oppressive estate, like very kind of Bram Stoker's Dracula, like gothic construction, gargoyle statues around the outside, a lot of which have like broken away, vines growing up the outer perimeter, tall spires, like about 4 or 5 stories tall, a huge estate that is fenced in. However, there are no guards at the fence. He doesn't employ any staff at the house. The fence is rusted open. There's a carriage that is sitting in the roundabout at the flanking a decommissioned fountain that also has a big like crack in the center of it. And you are able to just walk straight up to the front door. Much different than the Dimmer sisters, who have all these protections and wardings around. Skurlock doesn't really concern himself with anyone trying to break into his estate, because no one would be stupid enough. How do you approach the door, and like, what is your demeanor right now? What's going on in Glass's head?
I think they're just really just thinking about this as work.
Okay,
Perfectly pleasant.
sure.
Yeah, I also think because Glass doesn't really like. Glass doesn't waste time like putting on airs around Skurlock because he sees through it.
Yeah.
So doesn't bother.
Yeah, you walk up to the front door, grab the large sort of brass knocker on it, and swing it once, loud ka-thunk as it hits. That seems to echo through the interior of the house itself. And much like every time that you come here and wait, you don't have to wait a long time. It's not like it's like the perfect amount of time that you would expect somebody to have to walk from one room in the house, but it's almost unsettling how perfectly timed it is every time he opens the door. It's like you could count the number of seconds. It doesn't matter what time of the day you're here. It's like exactly 13 seconds for him to open the door.
I say that when he opens the door.
It creaks open and he is
13.
standing there. I'm sorry.
No matter when I come over, it takes you exactly 13 seconds to open the door every time.
Well, I like to be prompt. Don't like to keep guests waiting. Please come in.
Can you turn into a bat or something? I walk past him into the house.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a vampire?
At least 2 more.
He closes the door, and as you enter the home, you're greeted with the same, entirely identical to every time you've been here before. It is well lit. Every lamp, or he doesn't have any like electrical appliances in here. There's no artificial lighting coming through here. Every lantern is and like candelabra is lit, giving a warm glow through the interior. There isn't any dust, no tarnish. Everything is gilded or silvered, and clean. Everything in its place. There are bowls of I think he's got bowls of like fruit, which you don't see that often. It's like an extreme luxury in Duskfall that he has just sitting on tables. There are as he leads you back into like the foyer, you're confronted with the overwhelming collection of literature that he has here. It's different than the Dimmer sisters, who have like an oppressive need to like collect everything, and they just had knickknacks and bits and pieces and doodads like all like stacked up and pushed together in different places. Lord Skurlock has wealth and has the eccentricities of like collections and things that he's procured, but it's all very neat and it's all very put in its own place, and nothing appears to be like moved or missing at any point. And he leads you just immediately into the foyer, where he sits down, and there is a sitting on the like the coffee table is already a boiling pot of tea and 2 cups, which he proceeds to pour for each of you. Sets the kettle to the side, begins to steep your tea as he pushes it towards you. And does the same with his own. And he sits back in his chair and invites you to sit as well, as he says, well, I do appreciate the house call, but I assume that you're here for the conclusion of our business more than a personal call at the moment.
At the moment. Yes, I found your book.
Excellent. May I have it?
Yes. If you tell me what's in it.
So you didn't read it for yourself?
I can't read it.
Ah, right. I suppose that makes sense. Language is old. Not many people can.
What is it?
He sits back, like you see, like the slightest hint of impatience. Like he really wants the book, but he's not going to push it right now. And with your questions, he knows he's going to get it
gonna live
anyway.
another
So,
1,000 years.
he stirs his tea and says, "Well, it's rather self-explanatory. The binding of 7 demons. It is I suppose, a pseudo-mythological story, perhaps a cautionary tale. Debates whether it's entirely fiction or historically accurate. I won't know until I read it myself, but it describes the process, the machinations that went into the binding of 7 powerful demons, and the rituals conducted as such.
So does some light bedtime reading then?
Not entirely. It's more of a personal matter.
Alright. I suppose as long as you're binding demons and not letting them loose, I can't complain.
No promises.
What sorts of demons?
That is a very difficult question to answer. There are as many types of demons as there are people in this world. Demons of pestilence and disease, demons of hatred and of loathing, demons of the night, the sky, the stars, the ocean. For everything that we come to fear, to mistrust, to I suppose question, there is a benevolent spirit that represents it.
Awful cynical way of looking at the world.
Not cynical in the slightest. It's merely fact.
I suppose. You're not going to get yourself killed with this, are you?
On the contrary.
Well, I'll take out the book and slide it across the table.
Takes it.
Perhaps bind yourself a demon of greed and you can pay me more.
He slides the book towards him and like leafs through the pages like slowly, like not in a hurry, as he continues talking with you and says, I have very little need for money at this point. I feel I pay you an appropriate amount, but if you wish to renegotiate.
It was a joke.
So trouble with those. Humor changes so frequently.
I like to
Hard
think
to
mine
keep up
stays
with.
pretty similar over time, but they tell me I'm an old soul.
Do you believe you are?
I barely believed I had a soul until recently.
Do not possess a heartstone. Is that not enough proof of a soul?
I believe in things I can see. I can see a stone, a bit of light in it. Who's to say what it actually is?
At that, he pauses, flipping the pages of the book, and he smiles and looks up and says, "That is why I like you, Glass."
Not because I run errands for you. Do you know who I had to get that book from?
He closes it, looks it over. He says, "I believe I catch the moldering perfume of the Dimmer sisters."
The very same. We're best friends now.
I'd be careful with those.
I'm always careful.
We both know that isn't true.
No, because if I was careful, I would never even consider telling you about who I saw within their walls.
That seems to pique his curiosity as he looks back up from his reading at you and says, "Who might that be?"
That depends. What are we having for dinner?
How does chicken sound? When's the last time you had chicken?
And the last time we had it together.
Sometime then. Roasted chicken, braised vegetables, wine that isn't made of fungi.
Sounds wonderful. Then do I have a story for you?
I'll start dinner. So are you going to fill him in on...
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell him. Because I feel like he might know something, and I want to know what's going on.
Interesting.
And he's a... Except for Grackle, he's a person I trust to be the most discreet. Not that Salome is not, but...
Do you want to continue the scene so you
already
can
knows.
talk to him about it, ask more questions about it, or leave that for now?
I mean, I want to know what he has to say, but
Okay.
we can come back to it if you'd like.
Yeah, let's go to somebody else, then we'll come back to Hannibal Lecter cooking for you in his kitchen.
Yay!
Hugh,
That's exactly who I was imagining.
that is, as soon as I said
I
that
want
he
to
was going
have
to cook,
dinner
I'm
with
like,
Mads Mikkelsen.
yeah, now that's my headcanon for Lord Skurlock. It's
Yes!
Mads Mikkelsen. I'm not going to do a Mads Mikkelsen impression because I couldn't even do that justice.
It's impossible. He's a singular, immortal being, and no one will ever come close to him. See, kids, you can live your dreams.
Watch Mads Mikkelsen.
You can
clean up
manifest
Cheerios off the...
anything you want in a tabletop role-playing game. Hi, I'm Chick 2, and I have some tracks for you.
Let's move
I'm
to
very
another
tired.
scene.
I'm sorry.
Let's move. I'm going to give you a second to rest. Let's move to another scene to patch up a little bit of business that we've
I'm
got
gonna
going.
go take a nap for 20 minutes and come back.
Salome, you had finished your project clock to dig up dirt on the red sashes.
Yep.
You receive, because you had put out feelers to try to get some information, looking for people that like connections that might have information to give you. You finally get news back through your network of contacts. You do get back somebody who has some interest, who would have some information to give you. We're kind of putting in like the project clock was you like paying off people, getting like you're not going to pay anymore for this information. You've already done that. That was part of your downtime, putting coin in the right palms. So you paid the right people, you've done the right things, and a meeting is set up, or you are given contact information to meet somebody. Goes by Mirror. who has some information on that on what you're looking for. Basically, they asked you for a time. You were asked for like a time and a place that you want to meet this person. So, do you have anything in mind, or should we just set up like a nondescript alley at midnight somewhere?
This might help me decide. Is it imperative for getting this information that this person knew who I was, that I had to like throw my reputation around, or could it be possible that I received this information with this person having no fucking idea who I am?
You know what? Let me do a roll.
Cool. Because if they know who I am, then I would prefer the home court advantage and tell them to come to the jewelry box. But if they have no fucking clue, random alley is fine.
This is the perfect time for a fortune roll. So let's see. Get those. Fortune. I'm gonna give you 2 dice on this one. Let's see. That's a 5. It's a mixed success. I am going to say. Ooh, why do I have it? You did have to cash, like, you had to cash in some favors that this is tied back to you. Or no. I'm going to say this is tied, mixed success. This is tied back to the obedient servants.
Okay. Random alley.
Not necessarily to you personally. Okay.
Random alley then.
Okay, so
can I ask Grackle to come be in the shadows as backup?
She's gonna be there whether you ask or not.
I was gonna say, do you have to ask?
Yeah, fair.
If
I
you
assume
have
Grackle's
to
in the background
ask.
for all of these scenes that we're doing forever.
Every
Just
scene,
Batmaning up on a rooftop.
every scene ends up with a slow pan onto the rooftop and just a lightning flash in the silhouette of the hat.
It's gonna be
It's-
Fume in like a recliner reading a book, and in the windows, Grackle like,
And it happens 17 times an episode because
Something
she's
about
always
like
there.
the Batman silhouette against the night sky, but it's a cowboy hat.
Yep.
instead of the
Yes,
Batman
it's
ears.
very powerful.
It's
It's
amazing.
my favorite thing.
It's like Jonah
Amazing.
Hex.
Yeah, so good.
Okay, so you're going with so we'll say this is on, maybe this is we'll say mixed ooh, I didn't mean to move that. Go back to where you were at. We'll say with mixed success, you're not meeting on your turf in Silk Shore. Or no, okay, your hunting grounds are in Charter Hall. We'll say it's Charter Hall. Let's do it that way.
Okay.
So it's your hunting grounds. This is a place you're comfortable with, but it's not necessarily your turf. So yeah, alleyway, Charter Hall, late at night, fogs rolling in. It's a particularly dark night in Duskfall.
The Dark Knight?
It's the dark
Who's
night.
on the
There's
roof of the building in a cowboy hat right now.
Batman's everywhere. Grackle, you're keeping overwatch from like a rooftop across the street. Got your scope out, kind of making sure that Salome's covered. Salome, I mentioned you're standing like at the edge of the entrance to this alleyway waiting for your contact.
Yeah.
Are you in disguise currently?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of time passes. You're waiting. It's approaching the clock. The bells begin to toll in the distance that you are reaching around smokes, around middle of the night, or no, that'd be end of the night. Jesus, I'm trying to remember the time. Be around silk, which is like the middle of the night. You hear the sound of like footsteps coming down the alleyway, a little bit of clicking. You're getting like heels maybe, as a cowled, cloaked figure comes down the alley, staying kind of in the shadows, but stops about 10 feet back from you, and you just hear their voice saying, what would did you get a name for this?
You said mirror.
Oh no, did you have a name that you've been corresponding with?
That's fun. Let's say Ruby.
Ruby. Ruby, is it?
Mira.
Why? Suppose you're the person asking for information on the red sashes.
Could be. Do you have it?
I do. Uh. Just do a roll here real quick. Okay. The person speaks says, I've gathered the information you're looking for, me and my contacts. I'll tell you what I know, and then our business is done.
Perfect.
You wanted to know everything you could about the red sashes in my Lara Cliff. I don't have... go ahead.
Oh, no, just saying she's waiting quietly, not giving anything away.
I'm sure you're aware that the red sashes have recently ousted the crows from their turf in Crow's Foot.
I've heard.
You might also be aware that the crows were going through a high degree of infighting around that time. Their leader, Rorik, had been killed recently, and his second in command, Bazo Baz, had who took over leadership. Well, there were rumors going around that Baz was responsible for Rorik's death. Wanted to step in. No one ever confirmed whether those rumors were true or not. But, well, it's what led to the crows eventually falling to the wayside, as many upstart factions do in Duskfall. And as you probably know, the Red Sashes used that opportunity to step in on their turf.
Smart.
Here's what you probably don't know. Rorik was romantically involved with Yira Maha, leader of the Hive. Yira was instrumental in using the Hive to oust the crows on a bit of a revenge tear against Bazo Baz, believing him to be responsible, buying into those rumors. The Hive and the crows fought. The Red Sashes picked up the pieces.
A little more than infighting, then.
My Lara Clef was responsible for the murder of Rorik, not Bazo Baz. She's worked very hard to keep that a secret. So, is that information satisfactory for your payment in the matter?
I believe it is.
Good. Then our business is done. You hear a couple of footfalls away and then stops, and the voice, a bit quieter, says, You're with the obedient servants.
I don't tend to telegraph my allegiances.
Even still, when you pass on this information, tell Salome that Salia says hi. And the footsteps retreat.
Thud on the ground as Grackle lands behind her. Think she needs somebody to accompany her home?
Feel it's only right, given she came all this way.
Grackle pulls down her hat and follows her home. Jesus.
Oh, before she goes,
You
though,
asked.
you remember what Salia looks like?
Does she? Remind me who Salia is.
Salia used to work at the jewelry box, was one of the
Oh.
best workers there,
Yeah.
and
I
then
know
took off on her own.
Salia was before Glass's time.
Yeah.
Was Grackle around during that time? Or did Grackle come after Glass?
Let's say that Grackle came after Glass.
Okay, never mind
So,
then.
yeah, you wouldn't know Salia personally.
Mm-hmm.
So is Grackle going to try to catch this person?
Well, we do a lot of speaking. We do a lot of beating around the bush here. I need to know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
am-
There would have been some keywords about inviting her to tea if this was kill her.
Yeah.
So no. Making sure she gets home safe, I think, means follow her and figure out exactly who she's headed to see.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I think that's I think that's where we're going with this.
That's
All
what
right.
we're throwing down and picking up.
That's what we're throwing down. All right, cool.
Okay. I'm gonna have you make a roll.
Okay. I reckon that's probably a hunt roll.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's the most appropriate.
Okay, I'm going hunting. Yeehaw.
Yeah, go and roll hunt. You get an extra die if you're using your if you're using your grackles, right?
You right.
This is kind of you haven't really gotten to do a lot of hunt rolls other than when you're shooting people, so
It's true. Okay, I have been burned too many times for my physical dice, so I'm switching over to fully digital. I just click on the dice that's next to my skill, right?
yes, and that should bring up the roll window.
It says click to do block roll.
There you go. So it came up with hunt, and then
I can add an extra dice
You
for
can.
my grackles,
Yep.
and I go. It's a 4. Mixed
and
success.
I was just gonna make this risky standard, so
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You can just roll because it was just gonna be a standard roll.
Got
Mixed success. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a choice.
Okay.
Do you want more clues as to who this person is or where they're going?
It's so much more juicy to know who they are. But I feel like Grackle's practical enough that she would look for clues as to where she's going. Any input from anybody else?
No, that seems fair.
Where she's going can be super juicy because I want to know where she got this info in the first place.
Yeah. All right. I'll go for where she's going.
Okay. You follow her through Charter Hall into the old quarter, keeping a good distance. I imagine you have like a grackle like that's like circling overhead, like quietly, that you're able to like keep a visual of her in the fog from a distance without having to like be close enough to maybe be heard following. Um, you see her go towards the old quarter, and your grackle swoops down, and you don't see her go into the building, but maybe it's like this is like you have them trained to like perch outside, like above or on the building that the person has gone into. And as you roll through the fog, kind of parts in front of you, and you see that let me make sure I've got this name of this place right before I just completely spoil something. Let's see. Dust Fall. Sure. Hold, please.
Holding.
Hold, please.
Holding.
Hold, please. Yeah, you see them perched. The building is currently closed. It is dark. You don't see any lights on inside, but your grackle is perched above the doorway with the sign, kind of this gilded or this like tarnished plate in top of it that says the Archive of Echoes.
All right. She's not going to push it. She will return to Salome with that information.
We know what that is.
Yeah, the Archive of Echoes is it's kind of a society more than is like, it's not a public library by any means, but is a collection of books, tomes, that are overseen by like a scholarly society that was created at the Immortal Emperor's like personal behest. It essentially, they keep a lot of like publicly what's the word I'm gonna say, some like censored books, specifically related to like the occult, spiritualism, like that sort of thing.
Like keep them
Respect.
locked down so people cannot make use of them, or
That only people that are a member of the Society of the Archive have use of them at the Lord Emperor's permission.
It all comes back to books, you guys.
it really does.
They go all the way to the top.
But essentially,
It's
like
books
it's
all the way down.
It's extremely hard to get entrance. Like even like the most prestigious scholars like have to go through like a rigorous application period to be approved to access their libraries. And
So the person that Grackle is following or was following would not like just be wandering in there willy-nilly. Like
They would have. They have to be able to have access if they enter that building.
potentially, yeah.
that
Yeah,
means
would
a
be
lot. Okay. Yep, Salome is going to get that information.
Okay.
Are they considered a faction?
The Archive of Echoes.
Yeah.
They are not a necessarily a faction in and of themselves. Lord Penderin is the chief scholar of the Archive of Echoes. He sits on the like the city council. So he is like of like faction standing, essentially.
Gotcha.
One of the 6 lords of the city council.
Okay.
So if anything, I guess you'd say it's more of like an offshoot of the city council faction.
Got it. So either the Hive and the Red Sashes are on the council's shit list, or someone made a very risky move for a little bit of coin. Either way, I like her.
We'll have to keep an eye out for her.
Definitely. I may have Fume draw something for you. I honestly didn't think she would deign to show her face, but I need you to keep a lookout for someone.
All right.
We'll talk later.
So,
Yep. Just a tip of the hat,
as
and
y'all
we'll walk away.
conclude your that's the word I was trying to think of. As this late night meeting concludes and you have more information they started with, I'm going to move on to the next person I wanted to chat with quickly, which will be Fume. And if there's anything that you wanted to do, Fume, we can get to that. But before that, you are tending bar at some point within these ensuing weeks. It is it's late. There isn't much of a crowd there. Say like it's a weeknight. There's not a lot of people at the jewelry box. And coming through the front door, giving you a polite kind of smile and a wave as he comes in is Will. Comes up to the bar, sits down, says, "Hey, Fume."
William, hello. How are you doing? Fume puts a glass down onto the bar and then just turns it like 35 degrees. It still looks the same pattern-wise, but it's like just an OCD habit of his.
He says, "I was kind of hoping for a drink and kind of just wanted to talk to you about something that's bothering me."
Sure. Is this related to the request you put in to me?
Yeah, actually. Kind of. Sort of.
I don't think we should actually speak out in the open then. He'll look around. Do we have like someone Fume has been training to tend the bar while they're out on jobs, essentially?
Sure, yeah, we can
Grackle
say.
slides in with the sound of stone.
Yeah, Grackle just slides in behind you. Immediately, everyone at the bar just like sits up a bit straighter.
I thought you said Grackle like you've been training one of the birds to
Yeah.
tend bar.
Yeah, sorry, no.
Everyone's
that's-
so afraid of that Grackle.
Even better.
And then you
We're
started to talk
retconning-
about how scared everyone was, and I was like, oh no, wait, this makes more sense. It's
No,
the
we're retconning.
Grackle.
It's a Grackle that you trained to tend bar. It's
And
two
then-
Grackles that they can tend bar together. One like holds the
Incredible.
drinks, the other one's pours it.
They said one holds the drink, the other holds the gun.
There you go.
Yes.
No, I love the idea. There's like
things you need.
a small flock of
They have
Grackles
tiny little
tending bar.
cowboy hats.
I've heard about taking shots, but this is ridiculous.
The Grackles are playing Russian roulette.
I would
with
pay
one of the-
extra for a drink if a Grackle served
From
it
a
to me.
bird, right? Wait a minute. Why are we even why aren't the Grackles just tending bar the entire time? Like, seriously. Talk
If
about
you
a
wanna make-
gimmick.
If y'all want to make a long-term project to teach the Grackles how to tend bar, I'm more
Yes.
than
You
happy
guys
to-
told me I couldn't use the Grackles to solve all my problems.
No, you put that restriction on yourself.
Yeah, I didn't say
And
shit.
listen,
Nah.
you're not using this to solve a problem. I'm using this to create a new one.
Yep. That you're allowed to do.
Oh, you know what? I like that. I like that caveat.
Are you
So long as it creates more problems than it solves. You can use the Grackles for anything.
William, are you a liquor sort of person, or are you more beer and peanuts?
You know what? I think I prefer liquor right now, something a little stronger.
He'll grab a mushroom vodka from like the middle shelf and 2 glasses.
You take that, you head to one of like your employee room behind the bar.
He'll actually take William up to his room.
Okay, yeah,
That's like the most secure he can think of.
I mean, yeah, it's as far away from the front entrance as you can get, pretty much. So yeah, you head up there, grab some chairs and sit down. You know, kind of looks over. I don't imagine he's been in here before. It's like looking over your workstation here for a bit. But is pretty distracted by his own thoughts. Not enough to really ask a lot of questions about what you do in
I think
here.
it'd be funnier instead of shot glasses, he uses beakers that have been cleaned out.
Yeah. He had him a beaker of vodka, and he takes a long drag of it, and after he does, he lets out a deep sigh and says, yeah, again, everything's fine. It's fine. I'm just a little shaken, I guess. And you had much dealing with the church?
A little. I'm aware of them.
So I was acolytes and fanatics from the church come by pretty frequently. Just, I don't know, trying to convert. First time I had one come approach me directly and knew who I was, and he said it was some sort of like community outreach thing, but he asked about my sister, and I guess apparently there's the spirit wardens. It's public record when somebody pays to retain a family member's heartstone. And so he was asking me about it and about my intention, and was trying to convince me that the best thing for her would be to have the spirit wardens destroy her stone.
Let me tell you a story, William, of 2 brothers. And Fume will pour another glass for him. Both of who were brilliant in their own rights, one of which was mechanically inclined, the other alchemically. Sadly, though, the younger of the 2 fell ill during a pandemic. The brother who was the elder of the 2 swore that he would do everything in their power to try and cure them. Alas, technology at the time, things didn't quite pan out, and the younger of which died. The elder brother kept the soul stone. Shockingly enough, the same outreach program that you were confronted with also reached out to the elder brother. Not knowing what else to do, he gave up the soul stone, and he's regretted it ever since. Things like time typically solve problems, and I find that if you are to sell your sister's heartstone, you might come to regret it after a while. Given an opportunity to bring her back is right around the corner.
This this brother, I also tell him the same things about the dangers of bringing someone back and what it does to someone's spirit.
Yes, they did. But I can tell you with confidence that if the process is done completely, she'll come back. She might be dependent on you a little bit more than usual, given that hulls themselves can't grow any older. But I, for one, don't feel any different. And he will slowly remove the ascot from around his neck to show the soul stone to Will. Will, I need you to trust me on this, please. It was the elder brother's life work to make sure that no one had to suffer this sort of indignity and sadness ever again.
So, were you showing him the stone? Does that indicate, was there something there to indicate that you're a whole? Were you revealing that?
I think the stone itself is fixed, and it's not like skin is holding it in place. It's more like a metal apparatus, like a fixture.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I think it catches him way off guard. But he recovers and says, so everything they say, like the corruption of the spirit and the influences of
William, my friend, the human spirit is a dirty, dirty thing. It's only those that you surround yourself with that you feel a little bit cleaner.
Okay. Listen, I really didn't think twice about giving her to them or going back on this. I guess it just shook me up that I had to have somebody question me about it directly and try to convince me otherwise. I'll tell you too, this person, he seemed to, I feel like he knew more than he was letting on.
Did you happen to catch his name?
Yeah, he introduced himself as Bowman.
Bowman. Interesting. Well, I will keep an eye and ear to the street for any more news of this Bowman that... Good attention. Thank you.
Well, if I can do anything else to help, I'll keep getting any supplies I can and getting them your way.
That'd be much appreciated, Will. I'm very close to decoding the book, so we can start preparations on building soon.
Good. I'm glad.
Be safe. Don't potty too hard. And he'll slide the bottle over to Will. I still have a bar to tend, but if you need a quiet spot, this room is yours for the night. Just don't touch anything, especially in the top shelf.
Yeah, as nice as the offer is, I think I'll go downstairs and be around people for a bit.
That's good.
So
Oh, sorry.
thank you.
And as Will is at the door, Fume is just like cleaning one of the beakers. You're a good man, Will. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Thanks. You are too. I'll keep your secret.
Thank you.
And he heads downstairs.
As Will has left, Fume puts the beaker back on the shelf and sets two hands down, like palm down on the sink, and just looks forward in the mirror. And I think that's where the shot cuts.
Okay. All right. Hold it there. And let's go ahead. I've got to finish up the thing with glass, and I've got something for Grackle too. So, any preference on which one we do first?
Do the thing with glass first.
Okay. So glass, they're cooking, Lord Skurlock is preparing dinner for you. He's taken off the overcoat, rolled up his sleeves, put on an apron, beginning to prepare.
He cooks, he does occult shit, he lives forever. Come on.
He pays me for sex.
He begins to prepare an expertly.
Men, what is stopping you?
I'm not a thousands of year old vampire.
Not a vampire.
Not with that attitude.
I don't go blah blah blah.
I do not go blah blah blah.
So yeah, he's preparing this meal for you. You've explained at this point that you saw the Baron at the Dimmer Sisters, and as he's cooking, he says, "Interesting."
I thought so.
I'll admit, I don't know much about this Baron figure. It's pretty new on the scene, all things considered. What I have heard, might not be a bad idea to be on his good side.
Now I have to ask. When you say new on the scene, is that like 20 years or something?
You're asking whether that's in my comparison to my life or yours. I suppose somewhere in between. Certainly hasn't been around as long as I have. I'd say I began hearing whispers of a figure referred to as the Baron around 10 years ago, slightly longer.
What do you know about him?
I know that he has deep ties to the Foundation. And no, I don't mean that metaphorically. I assume you know who the Foundation are.
I've heard whispers.
An old society. One that's been around in Duskwall since its inception. Very powerful. Not the flashiest. They don't much involve themselves in the day-to-day workings of the city. Instead, they move slowly, influencing the city's history, the course of events from the ground up. And anyone that gets in their way, when you control the infrastructure, it's very hard or very easy to make people disappear.
That's an unsettling thought.
There are many rumors of dissidents against the faction that have found themselves entombed within the very walls of the businesses they once owned.
No wonder this place is haunted.
I wouldn't doubt that. But with a business and with a faction that moves as they do, it's very hard to keep track on their dealings. They're very careful.
What about the Baron, then?
Baron, very interesting recent chapter of the faction's historied dealings. They've always been moving quietly and slowly, as I said, but the Baron seems to have more aggressive than any other leader, self-proclaimed representative of the faction or of the Foundation that I've had prior dealings with. Seems much more ingrained in current business dealings of the city, but doesn't make a show of it. Like I said, seems very content to work behind the scenes.
I see.
Very aggressive.
What he wants with the Dimmer sisters?
That I can't tell you. The Dimmer sisters and I have a mutual respect for each other. I don't get into their business, and they don't get into mine.
Well, that's my job then, I suppose.
If that's the path that you intend to tread, I would just be careful.
I'm always careful.
And as I said before, I'll believe that when I see it. If the Baron is dealing with the sisters, that would signify to me an interest in the occult.
Put that one together on your own, did you?
I simply wish to make the obvious for us both. If you've already planned an angle in that regard, then by all means, pursue it on your own.
No, I'd love your input, I suppose. You
But
got
an
to
old
learn to take a
man-
joke.
I'll learn one of these days. An old man, obsessed with power, interested in the secrets of the afterlife. An old story. Surely one you can take advantage of.
Why don't you think the old man doesn't want to die?
Who does?
Fascinating. Perhaps I'll look into it. And as always, this stays between us.
Who would I tell?
Fair enough. I've always said I thought we should get out and make friends, but I'm sort of coming around to having yours myself.
Finally finishes last preparations, plating your meal, and slides it in front of you on the counter. And he takes off the apron, sips out a glass of wine, and says, "Is that jealousy?"
No. More like capitalizing on an opportunity. I don't get jealous.
You are aren't my only confidant, Glass, but you're one of the more agreeable ones I've found.
People pay me quite a bit of money to be agreeable.
Then to our continued mutual partnership.
Indeed.
Please, tell me your thoughts.
Is it good? Is it good? Is he a good cook?
Oh, I mean, it's better than anything you've eaten in months. I mean, this is actual chicken, actual vegetables. Like this is pre, like, shattering food. This is stuff that only the most wealthy of the wealthy can actually afford, and it's prepared very well.
It's delicious.
I'm glad you think so. And of course, true to form, he does not eat with you.
Never does. Do you taste the food you cook, or you just...
Oh, of course. I'd be a terrible chef if I didn't.
Right. Just don't like eating in front of people then?
He, like, looks over, like, takes a fork, like, plunges it into one of, like, the small potatoes, like, that's still in the pan, and holds it up, eats it. Not burning. Not foaming at the mouth. Not a vampire.
Or did it turn to ash on your tongue?
No. It's quite good. I outdid myself.
Going to figure you out one day.
You may need a second lifetime for that.
I'm working on it.
So you eat. And yeah, we'll go ahead and leave it there. Unless there's anything else any other questions got.
Shall I stay, or do you want to finish reading, well, I suppose start reading your book?
Oh, right. I probably will find myself quite occupied with that tonight, but there's a long trek back. I can prepare a guest room for you if you wish.
That'd be very nice.
I'll do that presently.
And I will leave you to your reading. Though if you are going to summon a demon or something, warn me first.
He chuckles and he says, "That joke I understood." You are given a guest room, the nicest accommodations, probably the most comfortable bed you've slept on in some time, and you have a much like any time that you've stayed over at Lord Skurlock's abode, it is a quiet sleep, but one that is met with many strange, and not to say like nightmares, like you have like night terrors, but just like in your
Real
dreams.
weird shit.
It's like dreams you can't quite remember when you wake up, but the sense upon waking that someone was like trying to speak with you, and that's it. Like you had a conversation in your dream that you don't remember.
Cool.
But the luxuries of a place, having like a bath and a comfortable bed and a nice meal, are probably worth that small price to pay of a little bit restless sleep.
I'll take it.
Okay. Then let's do the last scene that I had, and then we can get to anything else that y'all have. Grackle.
At me.
There's you. I'm thinking of where and how this happens. Were you working a little bit in your time off? I forgot if you
Oh,
were
of
doing your
course.
stress relief. Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah.
Totally.
So I like the idea that maybe you are, I don't know, trailing a mark or something,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or gathering information. And you are in Silk Shore, walking along the waterways, following some gondolas that are passing by, keeping an eye on a mark in the distance. Uh, and you hear before you realize it, or before you realize that you've been approached, a voice from behind you, a familiar voice that says, "Hey, kid, it's been a while."
Grackle's gonna turn. And you can almost hear like the cowboy standoff sting as she just turns and looks at him.
You see a gentleman, probably about 10 years older than you, uh, that is wearing I think, a very similar duster to what Grackle wears, probably a bit darker. No cowboy hat though, uh, isn't that obvious? He is kind of like graying, pretty. I mean, all appearances aside, attractive, not too attractive, hair that is well kept but not too well kept, a little bit graying on the side. He's a pretty like unassuming guy, wearing kind of a ratty kind of patched black duster, and some dark clothes underneath, but he has the one like telltale feature, the one like distinguishing feature he has, is a scar that runs from like his jawline like down his throat to where you like disappears under his clothes. And you see for the first time in probably a while, Steiner.
She kind of squints at him, and she's just gonna casually throw back her trench coat to reveal one of her pistols, and just very casually say, "Business or pleasure?"
If this was business, you wouldn't have seen me coming.
Uh, she sort of dips her head, and I think she can't help but smile. Um, and she'll take a few steps forward and like grab him by the forearm, and just kind of like a camaraderie. Yep,
Predator handshake.
yep, essentially, yeah.
Don't
So
stop
why are
at
you
my
really
account. I
here?
think your mark's getting away.
No, he ain't. And you see a grackle flitter off.
Right. Birds. Yeah, that's what I was doing here. Um, Professional courtesy. How about that? Let's grab a drink then, if your crows are doing your job for you.
She kind of like rolls her eyes. There ain't no point in changing the name if you're not gonna remember what a damn grackle is.
He he smiles and laughs and says, "I just like getting under your skin. Come on, don't take it so personally."
All right, they wander off together.
Uh, he leads you like a small little like hole in the wall dive bar, probably used by a lot of like mercs and people nearby, someplace where like y'all can talk in private and nobody's going to be like listening in on the two of you, but where you can chat. And he pulls up a stool, pats it on next to him for you to do the same, or just like what, like 2 fingers of whiskey neat for both of you, something like that. I imagine that's probably what Grackle needs. Or what would it be? They make mushroom whiskey.
Yeah, I think that's what we decided, is that there's
Yeah.
mushroom whiskey.
If you can ferment it, they will come.
Yeah.
Technically, most like alcohol derived from mushrooms is going to be a vodka.
Airbnb vodka. That's what I was like. They really couldn't make.
I
It's
did
like
my
a dark,
research.
It's like a darker mushroom vodka. It's like the equivalent of whiskey. They've got
I'm
some
sorry,
just
do you
good-
think people that live in this hellscape are like, I can't drink vodka straight? Are you kidding?
No, but I was just imagining like what the equivalent
Who do you
would be.
think
It would
I
be like
am?
it'd be like a spiced vodka or something like that. Like
Yeah.
they added like some sort of.
I have to think that like there are different types of mushrooms that make different types of alcohol and stuff too. And so,
Oh,
some
like you could
darker,
do
some
like a
lighter.
what's it? Like
Mhm.
a death cap, and then add like a shit ton of water to it to just get that like the pyrolytical tingle of fugi fish.
Yeah,
Or fugu.
but either way, some liquor for both of you, and once you are well and truly on your own, he says, so what you been up to, Jack?
What I said I'd never do. Teaming
Make a
up.
s- I was gonna say make a scene.
It's different. When I'm working alone, I can usually keep it a little more quiet.
Yeah. I wouldn't call anything I've heard coming out from your neck of the woods quiet. What was with the bartender?
It was a mistake.
Mistake you wouldn't make if you've been working on your own.
I'd like to think so.
I told you when you first got into this business. I don't think you're cut out for it, kid.
Buries her nose in her glass.
It's gonna get you killed.
It's gonna get you killed if you don't learn how to shut your mouth.
You're too easy to rile up. Like I said, I'm here for personal courtesy, not just to rib you. I got word your bounty's gone up.
Does that matter to you?
Not quite enough to matter to me yet. If you keep on this track, might get a little too good for me to pass up.
I think that like during that last exchange, Grackle was beginning to finish her drink, and then just like knocks the whole thing back and like turns the glass over and like sets it on the bar. You'd better make sure I don't see you coming.
I don't want it to get to that, kid. Listen, I don't
No,
know.
you don't.
I'm going to make a recommendation to you that I'm sure you're going to ignore. This group you found yourself with, they're growing unpopular with a lot of people. Get out while you can. There's no need to make a name for yourself. You do good work. When your head's on straight.
It's not about making a name, Steiner. Never has been.
Yeah, I know what you're after, and you need to let that die too.
It dies when I'm dead or he is.
You know the old saying about revenge? I think I told you once before. Go looking for it. Best dig 2 graves. 'Cause it's gonna get you killed.
I'll dig as many graves as I have to. Even yours, old man.
I'm not that old yet. I'm pretty sure I can get the drop on you, but fair enough. I don't really want to see how that plays out. Let me ask you this. Do you need help?
You offer?
The right price? Give you a friends and family discount.
I don't know if we can afford you.
If you tell me the job, I'll tell you whether or not you can afford it. Just think on it, though. Not saying I'm going to stick my neck out for you or anything, but I really don't want to see you go down, go down half-cocked on one of these jobs.
Too stubborn for that.
Right.
Can I count on a heads up, at least? If that bounty gets tempting enough for you?
I promised you that, didn't I? I'll keep that promise. You'll get a head start, but I recommend that you have a bag packed and a plan to get out of Dodge if it comes to that.
Well, if you think you can scare me off, you got another thing coming.
Not trying to scare you, Jack. Just show you how things are. He finishes his drink. Does the same. Says, "You don't got anything for me right now, though. I'll leave you to it."
We have needs of your services. I know where to find you.
Now you do. He stands up, like claps you on the shoulder, says, "Watch out for yourself, kid." He leaves the bar.
Grackle orders another drink, downs it, and then she goes and she gets her fucking mark.
I imagine you just like beating up this guy in an alleyway out of frustration.
Absolutely taking it out on him.
This
He
guy
does
was
not
like
deserve it.
had like skipped rent or something. Like you were just gonna be dragging him back to pay up on something, and he comes back and he's like just completely like black and blue, busted eye.
He's way
Like-
more roughed up than he needs to be.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck? I love that. Okay. Let's that's all that I had. The one thing I will say that I should have said in the moment, the stuff with Will, that is was me flagging a entanglement that y'all have to decide what you want to do about.
That's something I need to talk to Glass about, because Glass and Fume are the only, well,
yeah.
people know, but also
Well, I'll say with this entanglement, because you got the rivals entanglement last time. So I want to, it doesn't have to be a whole thing. It's not going to be a job, but y'all have to decide whether you want to pay them off, which would be paying off this would be the church, where it would cost 1 coin and 1 rep, or you lose 1 standing with them.
fuck the church.
Does the church already hate us?
No.
I don't think so. I think y'all were neutral with the church.
Nope. Fuck the church then.
Yeah, y'all are neutral with them because it has to be a neutral faction for rivals.
Oh, okay.
Do you
It's
really
just a
want
way
to
for
fuck
me
a
to-
priest, or do you want to fuck God? You can do that. Oh yes.
I don't want to pay the church, and we don't have any rep to spend anyway
Oh well, then it's a moot
because
point,
we tiered
so.
up last time.
So I will knock your faction, your status down with the church to -1.
Literally
fine.
couldn't if we wanted to.
But we don't want to. So.
No, we don't want to. I'm
It's
not
not like
paying
y'all
the
wanted to
church.
anyway.
It's not happening.
All
Well on
right.
our way to fist fighting God.
Say the whole name of the church, though.
The Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh.
Thank you.
God.
It's-
Every
And
time
suddenly
you
it
say
sounds like a
that-
church you want to pay for something.
Every time you say that, I just imagine fucking Penitent One from Blasphemous. The Church of the Exalted Flesh.
Yeah, I mean they're
Seared into the minds of the believers.
kinky, all right. Not your daddy's church.
Hey.
Well,
Depends.
Might actually be.
Depends
I
on
guess
who you
depends on
mean
your
by
dad.
daddy.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you mean my daddy or my father?
Mhm.
Okay, it's your daddy's
Daddy.
church, not your father's church.
Daddy, I'm sorry. It's for the last time. It's Father, forgive me, for I have sinned.
Daddy.
I'm sorry, daddy.
Sorry, Daddy.
Makes me want to go back to confession at some point in my adult life just to say that.
that sounds like a crime of some sort.
Probably.
Sitting
Misconduct, at least.
Sitting down the other side of the screen. I'm sorry, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Daddy. I've been real bad this week.
They've been real bad.
I ordered a plate of fries for the table, but I ate it for myself. I've been so bad.
It's not really a sin.
All right. We had about 10 minutes until I would normally take our break. So do y'all want to? I guess do y'all want to go ahead and talk about anything right now? Kind of figure out what your game
do
plan's
you-
going to be. And
Yeah, do we have our like weekly round table of like, all right, so here are the jobs we had for our opportunities.
Here are all the people that threatened us this week. Here are all the people that pissed us off, and
Here are all the people with sad puppy eyes that came to us this week.
Yeah.
Salome learns that Grackle knows a fairly prodigious assassin who has offered his services to us. And she also makes it very clear that no one gets to kill the Baron but her.
Okay.
Glass finds out from Fume that Fume knows the church on a first name basis and updates them to what Will has told him. I guess if because Salome and Grackle are also clued into like what we're doing with Will, right?
Oh yeah, because this is a
Yes.
huge lucrative opportunity.
Yeah, so then Grackle and Salome will also learn that Fume is aware of the church on a first name basis.
Well, we were going to get on the church's bad side regardless.
I would have rather later than sooner, but whatever. We can make it work. Might want to change the operations location, considering now Will's area is a hotbed for missionaries for the church.
We take a back room in the gambling den.
Oh, how about I do all of the experimentation process in front of our prisoner downstairs and really fuck with him?
All that.
Oh god, I forgot there was a man in the vault.
Did anyone
No.
feed him this week?
We've been feeding him. Yes.
Have you been feeding him, or have the Grackles been feeding him?
I gave the Grackles a break on Tuesday.
Oh, so he's
Well.
eaten then.
I forgot that Cobb was in the vault.
Whoops.
Oh,
It is just assumed that we are feeding this horrible man.
Right. I forgot.
I offered him some Amontillado last week.
Hey!
He didn't think it was very funny.
A
I think he
whole
misheard me.
cask too. Like what the hell?
For the love of God, Grackle Jack. All right.
Jack, if your contact is serious, what do we always say? Hit them in the pocketbook?
It's going to be
Would
hitting us in
he-
the pocketbook. We may not be able to afford him.
Doesn't he do friends and family discounts?
Well, everyone does those.
I don't.
I assure you, anything he can do, I can do better.
Well,
I
if
can
you
do
better not
anything
family
better
discount.
than you.
I thought that was
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have one of those.
Oh, good.
All right,
Well,
calm down there, Annie
remember.
Oakley.
Perhaps not now. But I think it might be time to take a look at our prospects around the night market.
Oh, going shopping then. All right, I'll get my parasol.
Not shopping
It's a-
exactly.
Night. Like it.
It was a joke.
It wasn't funny.
I never am. Fume will walk away
Eh.
to get like drinks for everyone.
It just leaves.
Oh, wait. We weren't done. Oh, all right.
Suddenly you're much funnier.
Perhaps not now, but something to work toward.
I just know you like to know all the pieces on the board.
It's my joy in life. I don't have a lot of that, so
We have a lot of stuff to work on and look forward to. I want to do something now. What are we doing? We need money.
we do need money.
Daycare down the street if you wish to steal some candy.
I'd rather steal the children. They're worth a lot
Next
more.
heist. Let's go.
Taking
Kidnapping.
candies from baby.
Oh.
Well, all right, let's go with the kidnapping.
I said they're worth a lot more, and Captioner said, "Did you mean the basketball mall?" And now I'm at the basketball mall.
What are you doing at the basketball
Can we
mall?
go to the
Buying
basketball?
basketballs.
Can we go to the
Buying
basket
basketballs.
mall?
The Baskin Robbins Mall? What?
The basketball mall?
The mall of the Baskerville?
Yeah.
Buying clothes. Soup store.
Fuck
you.
Close at the soup store.
All right, above table.
Well,
Goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, above table goal. We want to either get the night drop or
We're
just
looking
turf
at,
in general,
Sorry,
right?
what's the night drop?
We're
What are we
looking
talking
at loyal. Right next to the lair, we have loyal fence, covert drops,
Covert drop. There we go.
informants, or just turf. I
Yeah.
think there was talk about doing covert drops next.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
covert drops is next
Yeah.
on our list.
I'm gonna
Just-
say, because y'all talked about the night. Were you talking about getting turf in the night market?
No, I was making pointed conversation at Grackle about her
think-
list.
We were gonna
Oh,
go to the basketball mall.
Go to the basketball mall.
Gotcha.
All of the basketball.
My goal being utilizing a very talented assassin to just take care of somebody on the list if it's an option. So
I'd also like to flavor us going to the night market, like we're looking for people to help us enable those drops, the covert drops, like
Covert.
transportation people.
wait a minute. Okay, remembering back to other Blades in the Dark games, the night market is in the Old Crow territory, is it not?
No, night market's completely on the other side of the map. Night
Shit,
market
never mind.
is a district.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Crow.
Over by
Crow's Foot.
Coleridge.
Yeah, Crow's Foot is the former Crow territory.
Whose turf is night market?
That's a good question. I don't know if I know that.
It's all commerce over there. Yes, like the
I'd like to think night market is neutral ground.
I don't know.
Night Market is a district dominated by commerce. Situated near Gaddock Rail Station, Night Market receives the bulk of saleable goods from the cargo trains that travel across the Imperium. That's what the map says.
Imperium. Thank you, transatlantic accent.
The citizens that call Night Market home constitute a new class of elites, wealthy people who are not of noble descent, but nevertheless claim land, status, and power without titles. A city on the grow.
Oh, they're new money. I get it.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's new money
Yeah.
over in Night Market.
It's like going to Seoul, I guess, where everything's like a little bit nicer.
It's gentrified.
It's super gentrified.
So gentrified.
It is literally right next to Coleridge.
Would you like to try my artisanal mushroom coffee? I brewed it myself.
We like to
Uh,
have our coffee shops here on the water so they get that authentic coal taste. No
Now with-
bottled coal dust for us. It's like liquid smoke, just coal
Ne-
dust.
Now with 30% less coal tar.
Cancer rates are down this month.
Hell yeah.
All right. So on our list of things to do,
Yes.
we want our next job to be to pick up a covert drop.
Covert
Yeah.
drops.
Covert drops.
Okay, so that's our goal. That's our next job. We'd like to pick up a covert
Sorry,
drop.
I was saying shit because I thought Val was looking something up.
Yeah, I was looking up to see if anyone specifically had
But I
turf
lost
in
the
the
plot.
night market. But I don't see anybody that does, so probably a bunch of people.
Okay.
That
Cool.
as fit our needs when that comes up.
But we could get away with doing shit over there for longer. It's not just one person we're pissing off.
True.
Yeah, very few districts just have one faction that runs it. Most of them is a combination of a bunch.
Well, we've also got the ink rakes pissed at us.
Yes. And the
who are
hive.
And the church.
Out of, the ones
church.
that are, out of the ones that are most pissed, it's the hive and the ink rakes are both at -2. So
Okay.
you either want to do something to get on their good
Yeah,
side,
because we're
or
on
at
the
least
brink
not,
of war.
or at least
Yeah.
not piss them off again.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Ink rakes, hive, church. We should figure out who their enemies are and do a job against one of their enemies to try and
Well, we
balance
could do a
things
job
out little
against
bit.
the red sashes
It's
because
us.
the ink or yellow, the hive don't like them.
All right. Well,
I
If
feel
we-
like we should grow that relationship a little more before we completely
Backstab.
decimate them. Yeah.
yeah, the moment we do something against the red sashes, we better be taking them out.
Yeah, because we're gonna lose our only allies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure we let other people beat up on them a little more before we swoop in.
I also feel like this is less like this is less taking and more finding the people who maybe need the work, and we'll do it for, for the right person or the right price.
Okay.
That's
Or
true. You just have
we
to
could
get a job around it.
install a bunch of old mailboxes around town. Those can be our drop points. Like
So it
in
Why did
turns
I
into-
think
that
that
one quest in Fallout.
I'm really in Fume brain because you were like, let's install some mailboxes around town and put bombs in them.
Bombs in
Wow.
them.
And then my
Oh,
brain
not
went,
that kind
"Wait,
of dropping. I understand.
Yeah. Not dropping ordnance, dropping money.
Not dropping
Wow.
bodies.
Let the bodies hit the floor and it's raining
Yeah,
there
we just
from the
need
same
to
guy."
we need to do a little fun operation to get some people on our side to help with
I
dork
just
for
need to
us.
highlight the little thing that RJ threw out at the very bottom of that is that let the bodies hit the floor and it's raining men are connected somehow. I just
That
wanted
was
to
pretty
make
good.
sure that was out
Yeah,
there.
don't let that one fall off the wayside. That was pretty good.
They're in the same universe. I'm done. Anyway. Okay.
All right. So y'all are looking at the
Covert drop.
covert drops.
Yep.
A perfect hidden exchange point. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we just have to decide like who you're targeting to take this from.
The
who-
postal service.
Who's the enemy of the hive?
They got a couple. They've got the Circle of Flame, the Unseen, the Crows, and the Wraiths.
All of them sound like we shouldn't mess with them.
Yeah, they
huh?
all sound scary.
Crows are
Who's,
just
like
kinda
weakest
like-
among them.
Bruisers, right? Like
Somebody do a gather information. Let's do some gather information. We can actually just
Okay.
do it with your crew tier if we want, or
I-
if somebody wants to.
I
use
have
their-
that fun thing that lets me do that. Setting up
Right.
at something.
I'm like, give me something I can fist fight. It's been a while since Grackle is really.
You got to run.
Yeah,
Grackle
are there
out.
any crews that are like the rag dolls, the cupcakes?
All right, I have calculating, which is due to careful planning. No, sorry, weaving the web. You gain a 1 dice to consort when you gather information up for a target for a score.
just like go
So
find
I
a
would get
group of
3.
grandmas that are like bored and need something to do.
I mean, that's great.
The ladies' club.
Ladies book club.
May I go ahead and roll this consort roll for
Yes.
gather info?
Yes, you may.
I want to fight a crew called the Glass Jaws. But they're really
Scary.
tough.
Scarecrows.
Ooh, okay. That's 2 1s and a 6. So I shall take that 6.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. So interesting. So was that? Yeah. So you, the Hive is a more powerful faction than a much more powerful faction than y'all. Their tier is like higher than say they're I think they're at a higher tier than like the Red Sashes. They're powerful guild of merchants who trade in all sort of like illicit contraband. So most of what they're dealing with are people that like their enemies are going to be people that step in on their turf. That either are directly contradictory, like either opposed to their business efforts, or are engaged in kind of the same business practices. Out of the ones that you know that the Hive have the worst reputation with, or like have gone after in the past, obviously you know the Crows are one. They are kind of an older gang that is on a downward trajectory at this point. They've just recently lost a faction war against the Red Sashes and the Hive. Their territory's been increasingly chopped up ever since Rorik died. They run a lot of like extortion rackets, illegal gambling halls, that kind of stuff. So that would probably be like one option for you who you could go up against. The other one that's about on equal footing with the crows right now, because you wouldn't want to go up against the unseen. It's like a secret organization of that controls the entire underworld. Like that's a big
Like a
old
court
thing.
of owls sort of thing.
Yeah, we're like the syndicate kind of like
Mm.
situation. They're pretty big, but they're kind of on equal footing with the hive, which is why they're not on good terms with each other. They kind of do similar things. The Circle of Flame is also kind of a stronger faction. They're like a tier 3 faction. They're another like secret society of like antiquarians and scholars. They do like extortion, graft, vice, murder, that kind of stuff. Like, but they mostly function out of 6 towers. It's not really the turf you're looking for. The wraiths, other than the crows, the wraiths is probably your next best bet. They are thieves and spies. They mostly function out of Silkshore Night Market. Are their primary hunting grounds. Specialize in theft of like luxury items, intelligence gathering, for clients to use for blackmail. If anything, they're kind of like y'all.
That's the wraiths, right?
Yeah,
That's the wraiths.
Sounds like
had
they're
the idea.
already like infringing on our territory. We should muscle them out.
I was thinking of going in and as a group to try and get as much information that the wraiths have collected, and anything related to the hive we give back to them.
I'll also point out, y'all do know of something. Y'all got this in the first session too. So whether or not this is entirely accurate, you do know that the Wraiths recently, within the last like few weeks, took on a pretty big job, where they stole. They robbed a brothel in Night Market. I don't know if you remember that from the first session. Me telling you all about that. Yeah, you are aware of that too. I don't think y'all ever looked into it too much to find out what happened there, but
Was that why Jade was a little concerned? Was that
yeah,
the
yeah.
train? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The wraiths are looking pretty tempting to me personally.
The crows would be the
Yeah.
option, like if you just want to kick someone while they're down. The wraiths are the better option if you want to go after somebody who's kind of already infringing on your turf.
And I'm sure they have several nice little drop situations.
Yeah. The crows aren't a threat. The wraiths might need to learn their place.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
I just can't wait for that. By the way, this is what the wraiths know on y'all. Go town.
You rolled a 6 on your information.
Uh-huh.
You do know that the wraiths also have, as far as their property in Silkshore, I would say you know a little bit about their business with that gather information. They have they do most of their business with these like secret rooftop shelters that they have like scattered throughout the city, that they use for like stashing their gear and such. But their main place of operation in Silkshore is there's a tower in Silkshore that you know that they allegedly have like a secret lair in. They work out of.
Okay.
So there are options.
And I mean, if we took over a drop and took out whatever they had hiding there, don't mind that either.
Are we sure we want to use the same drops and not like a drop in the same area?
No, not the same. But wouldn't hurt to do both, would it?
No, you are absolutely right. So, all in favor.
Jack?
Whatever gets my boots on the ground.
Is
What?
that what they're calling it these days?
Wraiths it is.
Right. Well, with our target determined and some information gathered, let's go into our break there, and we'll come back for our planning for our next heist and decide our approach and all that good stuff. So, thank you everyone out there for watching. We will be back here in a few minutes to continue our session. Please take a break with us in the meantime. Go stretch, relax, get a snack, whatever you might need to do, and we will do the same. We'll be back here real soon, so stay tuned. Welcome back, internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We are going to get back into it and start getting things set up for our next job. So I think we've set our so we'll go ahead and move into our score. Oh, I never move it into free play? God damn it. All right, let's go ahead and start getting things ready for that. So we've set our sights on the Wraiths, who are a group of criminals, steal luxury items and gather intelligence to blackmail people. Very similar to what y'all do. So you decided to get rid of them. And to do so, you wanted to steal their headquarters here, their lair here for covert, or at least their covert drops that they use. So yeah, let's talk about how y'all want to approach this.
Haunt them. It's what we do best.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe we can try and mark out, like, steal the intel from the race on where their dead drops are and present them to, like, the blue coats. Or the hive even, and be like, hey, you could hit up these guys. This is where all their secret shit is.
Oh, damn.
So
Sounds like infiltration to me.
that would be
Subterfuge.
Would that be deception then? Or yeah. Lure, trick, manipulate. Okay.
Just walk in there with clipboards and hard hats and high vis vests. We're from the covert dead drop inspection. We're here to
Yeah, hello, we're dungeon inspectors. Wait, no, this is covert drop. We're a covert drop inspectors.
Oh my god. So your options are assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, and transport. I know that, and just for devil's advocate, I know that Grackle wanted to do some murder, or at least hurt some people. So if y'all want to also take that in mind, but it doesn't seem like y'all really are the type that just wants to do a flat out like assault and just like, we're just gonna take this place by force.
Yeah, I'd like some downtime to make bombs for that sort of thing.
Just send Grackle in to go and punch a bunch of people.
Okay, next piece of turf, we establish an underground fight club where Grackle can just punch people to relieve her stress.
I love it.
You start a club that hunts humans for sport, and Grackle is the Zaroff of the
Zaroff.
I think this already exists. I think that Grackle is already employed at this club.
Incredible.
Bounty hunting. You've just described to me bounty hunting.
That is true. So do y'all want to go with deception and go off of what RJ's idea was?
Sure, let someone else do the work for us.
So what is the detail then? What's the method of deception?
Is it like a specific list or?
No, y'all just decide. So deception is luring, tricking, or manipulating. So you're just trying to manipulate them into.
We're trying to manipulate the hive into. Oh no, the hive into kicking down the Wraith's dead drops by getting information on the dead drops, essentially.
Okay. So you're trying to steal. So it's more like you're trying to find the locations that the dead drops are at, or somehow get the information of where these dead drops are, so that you can pass that information along to the hive.
Yeah.
That was my idea. Yeah.
I like it. Hopefully, that'll maybe somehow keep them from going to war with us. They won't like us necessarily, but they'll hate us less.
That is true.
A little bit of an olive branch.
Yeah.
So we didn't mean to do that stuff on your territory. We were just coerced into it because of friendship.
It was Cobb, I swear.
We got peer pressured into it by Cobb.
Hmm. Trying to.
God, big. In the event if we are all caught, we should tell the police that Cobb is the ringleader.
Yes.
That has always been the plan.
Yes.
We're gonna
Okay.
buggy the shit out of him.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around like what this job looks like and what like our approach would be for this. So your mark is obviously the rates. So would this then be you trying to get in with the rates to get information on this? Is it kind of the same as the last job where we're coming in on the kind of a social approach?
It could either be that or like we can, because in my head, like every organization has their own like spy master sort of deal who has records of where things are kept, so that you can tell like all the rookies like, hey, by the way, your dead drops at ABC.
Yeah.
Or even
'Cause-
just a serious, like,
Stakeout of the
stakeout situation. If we know where their headquarters are, we can watch who's coming to and from.
Yeah, well, because so deception is kind of like the way that I look at like luring, tricking, manipulating is you're trying to get the rates to do something that's gonna fuck them over without them realizing it. So like it's more of like a kind of like an Ocean's 11 sort of, or no, is that Ocean's 12?
one of
One
Okay,
of the
why don't-
Ocean's movie.
Why don't we find one of their dead drops, switch out one of their packages, and the package that they take to their secure location just has a bunch of fucking like fireworks in it that like lights them up. And then the hive knows exactly where to go get them.
I like that plan.
That's fun.
Bait and
It's
switch.
exciting.
That's fun.
technical skill, chaos, 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 chaos.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. So we're looking
And this is gonna
for-
include getting us some covert drops of our own.
That's the plan here.
That's like the
Now-
ultimate goal, right? Is to take
Yeah,
some along
'cause
the way.
I'm thinking, so your goal is to take their their turf for yourself. So
I
you
mean,
don't
like
necess-
in my mind, what we're doing is that we're getting rid of people who are like leaving dead drops in our territory, so that we can leave dead drops, and there aren't people sniffing around looking for, stuff that has been covertly stashed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can-
Because again, like let alone mechanically, just story wise, yeah, we can't exactly reuse someone else's secret dead drop because they therefore know where it is.
She
So
killed
But if we
everyone
like
that
get
we
rid of
killed them.
people,
we would
Yeah,
have
if we
to
get rid-
literally kill all of the wraiths.
Okay.
And that's a
we just-
very different job.
I can
We're
summon
mostly
lightning
just
with
try-
my brain,
I'll
though.
be here.
we're trying to scare them off of our territory. Like we
Yeah.
want to
Gotcha.
have dead drops. It's not safe to have dead drops while other people are operating here. So
Let's
like
use someone else to.
Clear it out for us.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Got it. I got it.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
It's a
So
good
we're
plan.
doing kind of like a so you're swapping out, you're sabotaging a dead drop, essentially.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
How do you spell sabotage?
SABOTAGE.
TAG.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
There we go. Sabotage. Dead. God, I can't spell. There we go. Sabotage dead drop. Perfect. So that's our method of deception. Yeah, so our approach here will be how do you make that switch? That'll be the trick or the manipulation. Okay, gotcha. All right, so detail. Item loadouts. What are y'all going with?
We could probably go pretty heavy. Like it doesn't really matter if somebody sees us. Just
Yeah.
standard, maybe.
And don't forget we have the thing that gives us extra.
Yes.
Thief
your
rigging.
special pockets.
Yeah, we get thief rigging
2
for
free load.
So yeah, just go with standard.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do normal.
All right. Get RJ to pick his when he gets back. Okay. Felt like there was more of this. So we're looking at the engagement rule now. So let's go ahead and ask our questions here. Start with 1 die for sheer luck. Oh, RJ, they picked their loadout.
I'll go standard then.
Standard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 die for sheer luck, and then we ask the following questions. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I mean, it's a little bold. It's not bombastic, but we're playing 2 factions.
How does the rest of you feel about that? Ultimately, it's y'all's decision.
I always struggle with this one.
Yeah. Because bold doesn't always necessarily mean like jumping and guns blazing, necessarily.
No.
I always think hostile takeovers are pretty bold, so.
Yeah, and yeah, pitting two pretty strong factions against each other.
It's a little
That's
close
true.
to home, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So we have a +1 die to that. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
I don't think so. I feel like it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Light them up.
So won't take away a die for that. So we're 2. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
Oh, yeah. Lighting up their headquarters for the hive to descend. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
we've done a job yet that hasn't been the equivalent of kicking someone in the nards.
So you have to die for that. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
Yeah.
I'm going to say there's no way that they don't have some sort of defenses for making sure that people aren't fucking with their drops. So I'm gonna take away a die for this too, because it's not just like you're not just gonna walk up off the street, stick something in a mailbox, and walk away. That's not how that's gonna play out. This would be a very easy job for y'all. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Where exactly are are the rates located again?
I mean, they do business in their primary hunting grounds are Silk Shore and Night Market.
Did I enlist the aid of my friend Grab and Smash?
Okay. What aid or insight can they provide?
I'd like to think that they could provide eyes on the ground sort of situation, like more eyes, because this is kind of delicate in my mind.
Okay.
And because of their backgrounds of both stealing and coercion as their main hustles.
Okay. Sure. I can give that, so we'll make sure remember that, and we'll bring them in on this. So it's an extra die there. Are there any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation?
Not yet.
I'm trying to decide is I don't okay. This is where I have to decide if either the hive or the check something real quick. Faction game.
This would be a great story for the Ink Rakes to write about. Just saying, we're doing them a favor.
This faction will look for opportunities to hurt you as long as it doesn't create serious problems for them. They expect you to do the same, take precautions against you. Yeah. I don't think the hive would necessarily try to step in on this because ultimately you're trying to help them with it, and going after one of their adversaries. The Ink Rakes, I don't think care. Yeah, I'll go with no on that one. So we'll go with 3 dice there. Why my mouse just stopped working? And yeah, any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target, +1 tier, higher target. They are 1 tier higher than you. But this is on your home turf. Let's probably call that a wash there. Yeah, I think we'll stick with 3 dice then. Salome, remind me, did you have something that helped with engagement rolls because of your...
It was with the gather information. It gave me an extra dice, so we already used it.
Oh, gotcha. All right. I think that's everything, unless anybody else has any last arguments to make before I roll fortune.
Is this
No.
taking into account our underground maps and passkeys ability?
What does that do?
You have easy passage through the underground canals, tunnels, and basements of the city.
I don't... Give me a pitch for why you think that would give you an extra advantage in this situation.
Because we're literally going after covert shit. We have ways of getting around the city, spying on people that aren't overground. And we're also extremely familiar with the layout because we have maps.
Yeah, I'm debating because I don't know if that necessarily speaks to the core of this mission. But you can use that, and that will help you if you decide to use that in your plan. But even if you have secret means of getting to where their drops are, you're still gonna have to do something while you're there. That would help out a lot more, like making a quick escape, or depending on the plan. That would give you advantages if the plan was like if you're conducting operations in further parts of the city. I'm debating. Sure, why not? I'll give you the 4th one for that.
Okay.
My brain no think well today.
I'll take it.
All right, so I think that leaves you with 4 dice for this engagement roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll. It's a mixed success. It's a 5. Risky position when the action starts. Okay. Are there any other questions I need to ask y'all? No, I think we just jump into it. Okay. Let's we can go ahead and get a little started with this. I feel like doing that, and then we'll kind of see where how you'll respond to the initial engagement roll here. So you have I identified a number of the drops, like this network that the wraiths are using. You had your information gathering before. You know they're functioning out of Silk Shore. You know that they have these covert drops that they use and are planning to get them out of the picture so you can come up with your own network of covert drops yourselves. In the preparation for this, you've identified that the covert drop network that they use actually in Silk Shore utilizes the gondola network. They aren't necessarily interfering on the gondoliers themselves because that's a different faction. They don't necessarily want to get involved with them. But they have their own paid gondoliers that work the bridges or work the canals, and you've identified that essentially what they have done. Like, you've created your plan, you've come up with these fireworks. You're going with fireworks on this. You have your satchels, and you've followed this trail of kind of how they pass off this cargo, and you found this junction point through most of their deliveries here, where essentially one of the wraiths is taking their parcel, and they have essentially an exchange. Like, there's always one there's like a cycle of like 3 different wraiths that are working this bridge, specifically in Silk Shore off of the Ease. When they're making their dead drops, you see kind of like clocking this the wraiths that are coming through here. They are essentially heading across this bridge and dropping their items over the side of it. And you aren't seeing, like, essentially it looks like they're just dropping their stuff into the water. That's what I'm going to leave you at, with a mixed success. There's some sort of sleight of hand or subterfuge going on here that you haven't exactly figured out. But all of their dead drops are coming. Like, there's a couple of places where people are like leaving things under benches, and then somebody else comes and picks those up and leads it, but they all converge here. Especially the ones that and eventually get to these are pickups that they're pulling off of like their rooftop dead drops and stuff as well. They've got all these like bird cages, like the pigeon cages and stuff, like you see in like New York crime movies and stuff. And they but yeah, everything that's being picked up is taken to this one junction point. And you've been tracking them for a bit here and doing their preparation. I'd say all of you are kind of like nearby. You've been trying to identify the trick going on here, but you haven't been able to do more than that so far. But it's night. The fog is rolling in. You can see the same group. One of these same wraiths is sitting under one of the lanterns on the bridge. They've got like a ledger that they're usually reading or like flipping through when they're sitting there. Usually looks like they're by themselves, keeping an eye on things. But you haven't seen somebody making a drop here in a couple of hours.
So, what do we think? Fume is like a pair of binoculars on, just staring up at them from like some undisclosed location.
I think we're missing a piece of the puzzle.
Which part would that be? Would it be the fact that there are multiple people here in this location, or Why the hell they're throwing things off the side of the bridge?
That, mostly. They're obviously not throwing the real cargo. Where's it going?
Might want some boots on the ground in that area to investigate.
You mean what we did yesterday? I don't know.
Oh, could do a flashback. This is a classic time to do flashbacks.
Yeah, like maybe just during daytime hours. I mean, this is just a public bridge anyway, right? Couple people walk by, come back with packages or something to do another sweep by. See what we can see.
You can certainly do that. So essentially you're doing a flashback for some like observation or some like scouting or investigating of the bridge itself.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I'll count this as I'll just say a 1 stress flashback, something you could have easily done.
Okay.
So we cut to the day before. It's middle of the day, obviously, by dustfall standards, bright. That kind of diffused sunlight coming in through the murky, cloudy, like smoke choked skies, and there's a fair bit of foot traffic coming over this bridge during this time, and the as you are kind of you have more free reign to scout the area. There could still be wraiths nearby, but you can more easily get kind of lost to the crowd here. So who's doing what?
With this,
Summon a ghost.
who's got a good survey?
Ooh, wait, hold on. What is my survey?
That's Grackle, baby.
E?
Yeah, me.
I have one.
Survey.
Yeah, my survey is also 1.
Well, mine's also 1. So
Oh.
Oh,
Better than mine. My
Can we
survey
combine
is
all of
0.
them?
I don't see shit.
what if we do a group roll? It sounds like this is a
We haven't done
concerted effort
a
anyway.
group roll in a while.
Yeah.
Remind me how we do group rolls. Hold on.
Somebody leads,
Yes.
and takes a, wait, hold on. They will take the stress of, okay, God, we do have to read this.
Teamwork. Lead a group action. Okay, so each PC who's involved makes an action roll using the same action. The team counts the single best result as the overall effort for everyone who rolled. However, the character leading the roll takes 1 stress for each PC that rolls a 1 to 3. So the 3 of you could roll, 1 of you would lead, and you would count the best result amongst the 3 of you. However, whoever's leading would take stress for anyone that rolled a 1 to 3.
I'm willing to lead.
okay.
Okay.
I also roll
Fume,
in
you
this
don't
case,
need
yeah.
to roll since you don't have. Why don't we keep it? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm feeling a little lucky tonight.
It's not about whether or not you're feeling lucky. It's about whether or not I'm feeling lucky.
You could also take a stress to help any one person that Fume wanted to.
I feel like I'm going to be taking stress here anyway.
All right, so we just roll our dice.
Yep.
Easy.
Everybody will roll a survey. I think the effect here, I said your position, I'm going to say position is risky. You're not, you could definitely do this again if you needed to. And then the effect, I think, I'm going to put the effect at limited unless y'all give me a justification for how you are, either you push yourself to increase the effect or you give me some sort of justification for like how you're how you're kind of sleuthing this out.
This
if you have any-
this is specifically to figure out like
How this
where
device
the
works.
parcels are going, like what's going
Yeah.
on.
How this handoff is working, because you've seen people go over this bridge with packages.
This is a bridge over water, correct?
Yes.
Honestly,
They seemingly
depending
drop
on
them over the edge, and you don't see anybody picking up any packages.
honestly, depending on how well this goes, decides on Grackle's approach.
Um,
Because if this goes poorly, then Grackle's approach is by swimming in the canal.
whoa, hold on. I was gonna say, I'll take the stress to help Grackle with their survey. And how Fume helps is they manage to get like a small gondola and they pretend they work the river or something, and they will go under the bridge from time to time.
Okay, so getting a different view.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Getting a gondola.
I like it.
Do we have to
Are
do
you
a
just-
flashback in the flashback? to get a
Are you
gondola?
just no? I
Can
don't wanna do
I
it.
can I invoke Grab and say that she stole the gondola for us?
Okay, yes, this is how your NPC
like
is
her whole
helping.
thing.
They've Grab has procured a gondola for you.
Grand
Okay,
Theft
perfect.
Gondola.
And yeah, is currently piloting the gondola under the bridge during this, so you can get like a full view of this as surreptitiously as possible. Okay, so yeah, you can spend. I will say you're spending the stress to increase the effect of this, and not necessarily giving somebody another die. So the effect will go from limited to standard.
Nice.
Sounds good to me. All right, so then the rest of us are going to go ahead and roll survey.
Yes.
Nope. I got a 4. That's not bad.
5.
6.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So
Zero
no stress.
stress.
Yeah, nice.
I got a 3.
You didn't need to roll. You were just burning stress.
Grackle
The
suplexes Fume into the river.
Very stressful.
the 3 of you, or the 4 of you, in this like coordinated effort the day before, have surveyed the bridge, and here's what you do find, especially going underneath it, Fume, because you get a good vantage point as people are walking over. Some of the like every so often, like a little bit of like dust or something will come down from the bridge above you as like a particularly heavy crowd is crossing it, and those of you above are kind of like, taking a minute to like lean against the edge of the bridge and kind of like looking over, trying not to make a big deal about anything.
Looking at the scenery. of
Exactly.
Duskfall.
Well,
The
Silk Shores are very
dust.
beautiful. Silk Shores
I'm
probably
assuming there aren't any like animals like ducks or something on this putrid river. So
no, there are no
This would be the
waterfowl
strongest
here.
ducks in the world, and ducks are already scary.
it would be only one, and it would be Grackle's goose.
Yes.
yeah,
Remember the
Imagine.
goose?
Remember the
Came up with that
goose?
forever ago.
The goose has been in every scene. We just haven't mentioned it.
It's just very
Yeah.
well behaved.
Have you been keeping track of all the times you spotted the goose during this show? Now's the time to dial in to 555.
Savvy, I like to think instead of well behaved, it's just menacing in a corner the entire time.
He doesn't have to make any noise.
No.
He's holding a knife.
Anyway, there are parts of Silk Shore that are nice, I suppose. Okay, park. There's park.
Here's what you notice. As you're crossing under the bridge here, there is a drainage pipe that runs just like to your left as you're like crossing underneath. On one side there seems to be like a graded outlet, like probably some like a water flow, probably like an overflow outlet here for when it rains heavily, or the canals are rising. The grate looks, I would say it looks in better condition than in most of the like metal coverings and grates that you've seen around here. Like everything's pretty like corroded and rusted and stuff just from
Would
like
this look newer than everything else
it
around
does look a little bit newer or more well maintained or more frequently used. You catch that. Those of you that are up above notice something else. I'll say glass while you're kind of like leaning against the side here. You notice one of the bricks that you are like near where you're leaning has an indentation in it that looks suspicious. Like it looks like it's carved out of the stone.
Okay. I mean, I have to mess with it, I guess.
I'll say with
surreptitiously.
Do a. I think I need a roll to avoid detection.
I'm prowling.
Well.
I'm prowling around.
I'm gonna say on this one, I will also do risky standard.
Proud about unseen. That's a 5.
Mixed success. Okay. Again in this flashback, when you are you take a second, you see this indentation here, and you kind of stoop down to look at it, and what you can tell, it actually like goes in deeper than you would expected. You kind of like root around, like stick a finger into it to like figure out like what the like is it smooth on the inside, what is, and you actually notice there is some sort of mechanism here, like some sort of like keystone or some sort of device would like slot into this. You can't exactly figure out what it would do, but it definitely this could potentially be connected to what you're looking for.
Okay.
As Grackle or as Glass is doing this, Grackle, you look down the bridge, and you notice 2 figures come out of a storefront that's like on the corner of this bridge, and very purposefully seem to be walking in Glass's direction.
As in they've like seen Glass and are gonna go give them hell. All right. I feel like Grackle's cover so far has been that of the average Silk Shore sightseer, which is to say sort of stumbling about with a bottle of some sort of mushroom alcohol in one hand. So she's just gonna stumble over towards them and try and like distract them long enough and make enough noise to give Glass time to get away.
Okay. Definitely to roll for this as well.
Okay.
What you want to roll?
Well, I want to roll command, but I don't think that's going to be right.
Command
You're
requires
mean drunk.
a slightly different approach, but if you want to try to make that work,
I could be drunk and rowdy. I could be a rowdy drunk.
Belligerent.
Okay. Where you just start going up and like yelling at these people to get their attention.
Belligerent and numerous.
Essentially, yes.
I'm gonna need this played out, but let's roll first and see how it goes.
Oh, how do I go? It's fucking. I'm not bringing Teddy back for this, or what? Tony. I'm not bringing Tony back for this. Not for sure. Not. Fuck.
You've been sleeping with the milkman.
They ran into my knife. They ran into my knife 10 times.
10 times.
All right. I'm gonna say this is a desperate action. And
Sure is.
I'm gonna put the effect that this says standard. This could give Glass a chance to get away.
Okay. Sure.
Or sorry, not yeah, desperate standard.
Grackle rushes over to them and says, "Hey! You've been scared off my birds?" You're scared off my birds!
Oh,
Pushes
please
the
roll.
guy. Ugh, Jesus. A 4.
A 4. Okay.
That's a 4.
Go running up to these two and
Amazing.
start yelling at them. Immediately, the two of them turn to face you, caught off guard as you start yelling at them about your birds. And the first one goes, "What are you talking about? What birds?"
Look, there
Just-
it comes
just move out of the
now!
way.
Just a goose comes out and starts nipping at their ankles.
I thought you were about to be, look here, there now, and just stick 2 fingers up, like show them the birds.
the guy like tries to push past you and says like, "I don't know anything about your fucking birds. Just
I'm gonna
move."
grab him. I'm scuffling.
The guy goes to punch you.
Yeah.
He fully like, I think the mixed success here is he's gonna wallop you.
I have
Okay.
left.
I
this will-
leave.
This will give Glass a chance to get. I will say the success here is that you can get away.
I leave.
Grackle, this person is gonna full on try to levy a punch in your direction. Do
Cool.
you want to try to resist?
Wouldn't it be cool though if I did? A resist would take like two.
No.
Stress?
Resist is where you get to avoid the consequence of the punch, which will probably be like a low level, like a 1-tier injury. But you've got to roll to avoid taking 6 stress. So that's where you roll
Yeah,
one of
you roll the
your-
d6 and then
or one of your attributes, and which I'll say for this probably be prowess.
Yeah.
So you roll prowess, and you whatever you roll, you reduce the stress you take by that amount.
It's like, honestly, at this point, resisting would just be to save face. Like the stress is potentially going to do more damage than the actual harm.
Just let him
like-
let him give you a black eye and then be like, all right.
Yeah,
Jesus."
I'll full on, I'll body it. Like that's fine.
Okay, so you take the hit. The guy just like he wallops you. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 1 harm. We'll just go with like I don't know, black eye.
Black eye.
Yeah.
Black eye. I'll have you know that I have the tough as nails ability, so penalties from harm are 1 level less severe.
Oh,
So I
okay.
fucking tank it. Like
Like a
Grackle
champ.
Like Grackle
Danae
doesn't
really
even
said so.
move.
Actually, I don't.
Well, so you still, if I remember right, you still take the 1 harm, but you just don't take the penalty. Like you don't have
Exactly. Yeah, no, she
Okay.
still gets hurt, but like she's playing it off.
Damn.
man, if Fume was topside from across the bridge, you just hear someone yell, "They just punched a pregnant lady!
Stop that.
Get him!"
Incredible.
And you wham
That
get
man
punched in
hates
the face.
birds.
And
Yeah,
we'll just
and
like we'll have that be
Grackle-
the hard cut out of this flashback to the information that Glass had.
And to the close up of the healing black
of-
eye.
Yeah, Grackle just with this black eye sitting there looking just pissed off.
Like we cut away right before the connection of the fist, and then we smash cut to the black eye. Yeah.
yeah.
Incredible.
I'm just saying it would have been a lot worse if he had punched me.
Oh yes, you bruise quite easily, don't you?
Yes,
Yes.
sort of in the name.
Oh, oh. I thought it's because you were shiny.
It has many meanings, none of which I'm going to share with you.
Fume just drags a finger from the corner of his eyes down to his chin. Right, so there's something up with the drainage system underneath the pipes. It leads to some sort of runoff or collection device on one of the sides. One of the that piping is newer than the rest.
So, if that wonky brick had anything to do with it, perhaps they open a chute of some kind?
No,
So-
that's a
so-
hiding spot, more of a keyhole.
I figure because they have so many wraiths on it, it's like a 2-3 person operation. And they might be using the water to grab whatever's in that dead drop out and just ferry it away.
Through that new pipe, which they clearly control.
Clearly.
It's not a bad day's work.
It's rather complex. They must have hired some sort of engineer for it. Anyway. So, what's our best bet? Cause a distraction and drop off one of our packages in their little system, or
Or wait for someone to open it and hide out near that pipe, see what happens.
I'm sorry, madam, but there's not really much cover underneath the bridge. Though, if we had some time, I might fancy training some of the Grackles.
Are you sure we can't just send it with the goose?
No, the goose is too dangerous. They're a loose cannon.
Fair enough. Probably
I
blow
never
up a
can
building
anticipate-
or something.
We don't talk about the incident.
Look, that knife wound healed quite alright.
Still upset about it.
And the goose does look very good in an eye patch.
My patch.
I'm imagining like Snake. It's got like the eye patch, smoking a cigar,
Bandana over the head.
Yeah,
We put a cardboard
It's a
box
badass
over
goose.
it and it just shuffles
It's
along.
the fucking sequel to Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
Metal
Goose.
Goose solid.
the goose's
Metal goose.
honk sounds sort of like Otacon. Otacon.
Peace was never an option.
You think love can bloom on the battlefield? I've got a lot of these. Don't let me get started.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, your options are to try to figure out where this goes, try to use it to get your package. I mean, and what you've gathered is that if you want to use this device, you have to get your hands on a key, one of these keys that they're using.
You could always steal one.
Good. Or if you give me some time, I think I might be able to think of something to craft a mold of the inside of the lock.
If it's a standard key.
If it is.
I mean, I'm all for the stealing, you know, that we did yesterday!
Damn, Salome.
What do you
Do
want?
another
What do you want? I
flashback.
can just pickpocket a guy?
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I seem to lost my mother. She was talking about her birds.
It's the same guy.
Same fucking guy.
Mother.
You punched my mother.
You punched my
she's
pregnant
obsessed
mother.
with the idea that all the birds in the city are hers, and I haven't seen her in a couple of days. You know, she's got a big hat.
Okay,
carry
so we're
out
doing the
multiple-
flashback to you going back, and then
I'm not gonna talk to that guy. I'm gonna fucking let's just wait until we see somebody.
Yeah.
And I'll just skulk around and I'll do a little
Pickpocket.
little pickpocket gambit. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
How's your finesse?
It's 1 now.
I have 2.
Oh,
I could
shit.
also pickpocket.
Even better. I'll help. So we'll do what we used to do in Divinity Bound. I'll talk to them so they have to stand locked in dialogue with me.
Yeah, that's
And
how
then
it
Perfect.
Salome can
Yes.
sneak around and then run away.
Yeah, you just don't choose any dialogue options.
Yeah, I
Just
just stand
wait
there.
patiently.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
that's how
the
this
it's
works.
the ultimate way of stealing in Divinity. There you go, internet. There's your gamer tip for the day.
Pro gamers here. Okay.
When it comes to crime?
So, okay. So we're doing another flashback. I'm gonna ask for
Yeah.
another stress on this flashback.
I'll take it.
You sure?
I keep initiating them, so it seems only fair.
I'll help then.
Okay.
I'll go to help.
Okay, so you see one of these.
Oh,
this is
wait.
like,
Yeah, I dress super slutty.
okay,
I'm just gonna like sit on the edge of the bridge.
okay. So later that same
This
day,
is only a matter of time.
you've come back dressed incredibly skanky and sitting at the edge of the bridge. You've had like 6 people come up to solicit you. You just keep like shooing them off while you're waiting.
Very
for-
expensive.
Yeah. I think I need a roll for your seduction here.
Okay. How is sway? How about sway?
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, sway them hips. What?
Technically a disguise, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Not really. It's eh.
Do you
It's a
not want it to be a
6.
disguise? I won't let it. Okay. Yeah, very soon the same guy that punched
Yes! Get him
Grackle,
back. Get him back.
comes back out and you see like lights up a pipe and you see like catches your eye and swaggers over in your direction, says hey there,
Oh, hello.
how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I haven't seen you working here before.
So I don't usually.
What's your name?
I don't see why that's any of your business.
Come on.
What's that fake name I gave?
Just gonna make this guy as skeezy as possible.
Iris.
You said Iris?
Yes.
That's a pretty name. You work around here?
Oh, here and there. Wherever I'm not going to be bored.
So what's your business? What's your rates?
Depends on what you're looking for, I suppose.
It's about when I sidle behind.
Yeah, don't make me play this guy anymore. Go ahead.
Dinner, conversation, something a little more
What are you
private.
rolling?
I was rolling my fucking finesse and I got double sixes, motherfuckers.
Okay.
You can't see.
You can't see them. They're so far away.
They're so far away.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna just be risky standard, so that works. You walk up, just like casually walking behind this gentleman, and without even, he never knows you.
Saw it coming.
Yeah, you just slip your hand in his pocket and you grab you grab a key. You grab this like device. You feel this like cylindrical like metal contraption in his pocket. You grab that. There's also a folded up piece of paper in there.
Taking that too, of course.
You take that
It's a
too.
note to his wife.
It's the divorce paper.
A single divorce paper.
Yeah.
Just the
She didn't
one.
even have to argue. It's just, we're done.
And you've swiped this. You successful flashback. You have that.
What's the piece of paper say?
Yeah, you see in the yeah. So the device you pick up, little metal contraption, it just looks like a cylinder. If you twist the end of it, like these pieces pop out from the side, and you gather that's what functions as the key. Is essentially they're inserting it into the hole, twisting it, that extends, and they're able to like unlock something with it you haven't been able to test it yet, but you feel like that's how the device works. The piece of paper is a note that is it's pretty in pretty like shoddy handwriting, but it's essentially says, got word yesterday that Loop has found a buyer for the map. They'll be coming by the lair in 3 days. Could be a big payoff for everyone if this works out. That's it.
Interesting. What to do with that information? So, I mean, we have the key. Could just shadow someone up. Use it, drop, leave.
Or I mean, you've told me about it, and now I want to take it.
Yes, no, so do I, to be perfectly honest. I think Val did this on purpose to punish us for a double sex, because now we want to completely throw away everything we've
this
already
is my
planned.
present for y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we go as planned, the whole place lights up and the hive swoops in.
We should try to figure out who the buyer is. Nothing wrong with a little impersonation, right?
Quite fair. This seems like a whole other mission now.
It does.
Okay, I
The
have an
twist.
idea.
We get to the end of this job, and the entire thing was a flashback for that job.
For the next job. Yeah.
So maybe we should blend in with the hive when they hit the base to get to the map first.
Just act like we're a part of them.
Or like offer, hey, when you hit the base, let us in on it too, so that, you know, we can help out. And then when we find the map, just swipe it for ourselves
Take
and
it.
don't say a word.
I'm gonna say there's no way y'all would have to do some subterfuge to get the hive to let you.
Yeah, they
in on
hate
the
us.
Oh, they
Yeah.
hate us.
Yeah,
They
the
do
hive
hate us, yeah.
absolutely hates you.
Listen, this is a common enemy between the both of us.
We're literally one step above all of war with them.
You're the most common enemy.
But you know
It's
what?
us.
You never know. If y'all want to try talking to them and see if they'll take you along for the ride, go for it.
Or we just plan to do the drop, get to the tower, then set off the thing, and then be there for the aftermath. And
Hear me out. We put Fume in a box as
No.
cargo.
Last time
you
I
might
tried
go
to do
underwater,
this,
bro.
Motherfucker
Val
wants to
made me
keep on-
feel stupid because I was looking for barrels.
Motherfucker wants to live in a box.
Well, he broke his other one.
Yeah, I broke my other one. I only feel comfortable in tight spaces.
Oh my god.
Could a
how
Grackle
about
go in a box?
how about I
Okay,
give
so-
you
Send in the
map is
goose.
gonna get dropped, right? The map is gonna get dropped. Like that's like the map is gonna get dropped, right?
You have the impression that they already have.
They already have the
This
map.
They've got the
They're
They're gonna
map, and
sell it.
in a couple of days, their buyer's coming by. So
Got
they've
it.
got it
Okay.
already.
Essentially,
Impersonate the
if
buyer?
I'm gonna
That was my
summarize
thought.
this, yeah, if I'm gonna summarize this right now, y'all are at a kind of a crossroads. Either you go forward with like your plan to drop off this fireworks, this explosive, and let it wreak havoc on their lair, and hoping that'll instigate some sort of conflict with the hive, and they'll end up taking out the wraiths for you, or you go and try to deal with this. Because if you go to their lair, then you'd be there anyway, and you could go ahead and set off the explosives there too.
Yeah.
I figure we give the hive like an anonymous tip, like, "Hey, watch this spot. Something fun will happen." Essentially, like, anonymously tip the hive into like knowing that the wraiths are going to be vulnerable at some point. Why don't we wait for the buyer to come by and then jump the buyer?
But
And then
them
we
in
find
the
out-
vault.
Put them in the, and then we find out the buyer is Lord Skurlock.
Oh, and then
I-
he'll just
I-
probably let me look at the map.
I like the idea of like our current plan being jump the buyer, and then like just
It's like
let
somebody we know.
it- if it's somebody we know, then that's just more fun,
There
isn't
we
it?
go.
And
Surprise!
if not, I guess Cobb's getting a cellmate.
Get down, Mr. President.
I don't like the idea of Cobb having a cellmate.
I don't want
then he
Cobb to
has
have
somebody
friends.
to conspire with.
An option I'll just point out here too is you could, there are some hive people nearby that have been working nearby, because you just wanted to go like interrogate
the
them,
hive.
or not hive,
Wraiths.
wraiths. There are some wraiths nearby,
There's one very interested party on the bridge somewhere.
but if y'all want to take some time to think about it,
I can go back and talk to that guy. What's his name? He's appeared twice. He has to have a
He
name.
has appears twice.
What's
He
his
punched
name?
my
Cobb
mom.
Cobb too.
too.
Yeah.
No, his name is Corn.
Corn and Cobb.
Cobb.
this is corn.
Okay, we
Uh,
need an
with a K.
elderly gentleman named
Yeah.
Pop then, so that we can introduce Pop to Corn and then Corn to Cobb.
You
I don't
can't
like
name
the
this
idea that
man
we're giving him
Corn.
friends.
Mm-mm.
We're gonna do chain reaction with these names: soda pop, popcorn, corn cob.
Cobb. Death.
What is
Wait.
this? What is this? Apples to apples?
No, it's apples to oranges actually.
Why don't I let y'all ruminate on this?
I mean, people
And we can
say a
go
lot of
ahead
stuff.
We could go ahead and call it, because it's probably the best break point for our heist.
I want to scuffle. Give me something to punch.
Because I've introduced a pretty big twist in this because of those double sixes, and I apologize for that. But this is a good opportunity for y'all too. You can make a lot of money with it. So let's go ahead and we'll pause the heist here, and y'all can kind of think about over the next 2 weeks like what you want to do with that. So y'all want to go ahead and do our end of session questions and wrap this baby up for today?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll do PC advancement first. Everyone who made, I think we only had one desperate action today
Mhm.
from Grackle, so we made sure to mark XP for that.
Oh, dang.
I think it was a command roll, so mark it in your whichever
Resolve.
field that's in. Is
Yeah.
that resolve? Okay.
The red one.
The red one.
Your
Yeah.
playbook specific XP triggers.
Yeah. Challenges with calculation and conspiracy. Just always.
That's fair.
Just a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. Not this episode.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Addressed a challenge with tracking or violence.
You did get
Doesn't
punched.
say you have to
I
do the
got-
punching.
I got
And you
mine.
did also track the Echoes person.
You did
so.
both tracking and
That's-
balance
you did
today.
both.
The goose got involved, and the goose's name is
That
Violence.
means you get some XP.
We call it Vi, though, you know.
Mine was knowledge or arcane power.
Does the
Just
goose
leveled up
think it's a
prowess.
grackle? Has this goose been
Yes.
raised around grackles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
gotcha.
Obviously. Not knowledge.
Incredible
I
violence.
don't know.
What are you debating?
Knowledge.
Man.
You did. I addressed a challenge. I didn't do arcane power, but I'm just knowledge is so broad.
That is incredibly broad.
I know things.
So many things.
Why do you think Glass has all that hair? It's to hide his secrets.
It's up to you. Ultimate is your choice, but you want to give yourself the XP for that.
I mean, no, I don't. I don't think I
Okay.
do.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Got one from Fume.
I'm calling drives on this one.
Yeah, I'm calling drives too.
Money.
All right.
Money and information.
And then
How many
you don't
people
have
did
any-
I sleep with for information this episode?
You struggle
Hey,
with
can I have
issues
two?
if you feel like you did it multiple times.
I do.
Okay. You struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. Nobody's got any traumas yet. I've been
Oh,
trying.
not background traumas. All right.
No. no. And I don't think we had any vice issues. come up today. Okay. And then we'll do crew advancement. Van, you want
I
to walk
got
us
it.
through that?
Execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation.
We haven't finished the
We
operation
haven't
yet.
finished the operation.
We did a
so-
theft. I just
did a
want
We
to
theft.
say.
did do a theft, but
I give us a spiritual XP for that. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are always until
Always. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Until we get any higher in tier.
once y'all get to tier 2, I feel like it'll be more evenly split.
Yeah. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. We have
Haven't thought
professional
about that yet.
and loyal in our reputations.
I don't think you really did much for your reputation today.
not this session. No.
No.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
Do you essentially
Money.
to throw a plan out the window as soon as a better payoff shows up?
We're not throwing it out the window. We're following the natural consequences of our actions.
It has
Yeah.
become a new, different plan to the one we are about to make.
One or two for that one.
Sub-plan.
I'd say one.
One
We only need
works.
one more to level up again.
Yeah.
Can we say two then?
See, I asked, but I didn't want to just like say it.
I want to be fair.
Cannot
and-
take XP just to level up. You'll only
That's
get-
literally the only reason to take it.
the only reason to take XP
I
is to
mean,
level up.
I'm not gonna let y'all be like, "Oh, we were just one off." Yeah, we definitely did that multiple times after we've already decided we didn't want.
This is the second time where we've only been one off.
Listen. It ultimately it's up to y'all.
It also
No, I
bleeds
think one
over,
is
so
fair.
it's fine. Yeah.
Wait a minute, though. We also did a lot of discuss. I feel like at this point, the vengeance quest is a pretty active part of our group's goals overall too, and we
Y'all
definitely
did-
made some moves with that.
Did y'all do anything for your vengeance quest today?
We made the plan to. We've got this new piece of our assassin puzzle.
That's true. It's up to y'all.
Do it. You won't. Dare you.
I want to hear everyone else's vote.
I'm perfectly fine with it because it bleeds over anyway. So
Yeah, I'm fine with it too. Like, if we set the precedent that we have to make progress on the vengeance quest, then we'll never mark it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true.
Cool. So that's a level up for y'all.
That's a level up. Then.
speaking of, we didn't get vengeance on anybody, did we? Well,
Not direct vengeance, no.
I got punched in the face and then you guys stole from him. So
Immediate vengeance.
immediate vengeance.
Vengeance,
I'm not gonna.
while best served cold, doesn't have to be.
Why don't we call that a wash? That we either say that you got the XP because of that, or you got the extra XP
Vengeance.
for vengeance. You one or the other. Y'all got
One or the
The vengeance is tangible.
Your
Yeah.
There we
obedient
go.
servants
Y'all
love
have
to serve
leveled up.
vengeance. Hot and
So-
swift.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yay.
What I wanted to do was that, like, at the end of Glass's like interaction with that skeevy dude, I wanted to end that interaction just with Grackle running in and punching him in the face, so that Glass has an out again.
Oh my
At that
God.
point, he was sitting on the bridge. You just walk up, whack him, and he falls over.
It's from my birds.
So, what does crew XP get you again? Is
I
that an
was trying
upgrade
to
or a
find the thing. Because it's one
oh,
of one
two
thing or
upgrade.
two of another.
It's take a new special ability or 2 upgrade boxes.
I think we did upgrade last because that's why our
We did
vault is
upgrades
upgraded.
last, yeah.
We should probably take abilities here.
Which there are
So
still
what-
a lot of upgrades.
Is there an ability y'all have your eyes on?
Let's see. The one we were talking about doing was Patron,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which is when you advance your tier, it costs half the
Yep.
coin it normally would. Who's your patron? Why
I
help
agree.
you?
I think that's what that was the plan. Yep.
Y'all want to do that and try to lock in Skurlock as your patron?
Send it.
I'm down.
I love it.
Yeet!
All right.
Oh, and you
Alright.
click it, it puts it at the top of the list.
Yeah.
it's
Nice.
That's
helpful.
nice.
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some
one
other
choice.
fun stuff in here, but we've been talking about Patron for so long that I think we
Yeah.
should lock that.
That'll help
No,
you in
I
the
agree
long
with
run,
you.
too.
One hundo.
Okay. So we got
Because that coin goes up by a lot. I think for tier it goes up exponentially, right? It's like a shit ton.
I'm pretty sure it's like 8 times your
8 times the
The
tier
level.
you're going to.
yeah.
So yeah, so the next one will be 16
Oof.
coin.
Reduced down to 8.
Reduced to 8.
Each time the crew advances, each PC gets stash equal to the crew tier plus 2.
Oh shit.
That's 3!
So everybody gets 3 stash.
Woo!
I'm fucking
Shit.
racking it up, dude.
We're not gonna be poor souls anymore.
Yeah, and make sure you're putting that in your stash and not your.
I've been putting basically all my money in there.
You said it's 3?
3. Yeah. Because if y'all want to spend from your stash, then you.
Which, as a reminder, on these sheets, you have to put them in your coin and then move them to
Yeah.
your stash. I'm only 2. I'm almost meager.
Yeah, me too. 2 away.
Wow.
I'm 5 away.
And that's the point where y'all can start rolling your stash to like where it actually would be helpful to roll your lifestyle to acquire things and to like
Yeah,
accomplish
once we
things.
have things.
Yeah.
I'm
been
almost
spending-
I'm almost living a meager lifestyle.
I've been spending most of my coin on upgrading my fucking tools. Whenever
Every time
we go
I
on a
get
job.
coin, I put one in stash.
I try to.
I'd keep like
Don't
one in my
worry.
pocket just in case.
It's so good. It's y'all saving for the future. It's adorable.
Like you're
What?
gonna make it there.
Yeah, like what future, really?
We need to sit down as a group and write our wills.
I plan on living a very long life.
I'll dig as many graves as I have to.
Yeah, that line. I'd like to put that line on a loop behind every decision y'all make.
Take as many graves as I have to.
Boy. Okay. And I think that's it for advancement stuff. So let's go ahead around and do our stars and wishes. Whoever wants to, we just want to go in order.
That's fine.
All right.
Because we already hung a lantern on my star, which is going to be Grackle saying, I'll dig as many graves as I have to. That whole conversation was really fun, though. I like seeing Grackle interact with people that aren't us. It's always really fun for me personally. It's great. Grackle's a badass. And it's fun to see her sort of grappling with maybe people who are better at her job than her.
How
Or at
dare
least
you.
more famous for it.
Dare
I'll fight you.
I'll dig as many graves as I have
I'll
to.
dig as many graves.
It's fun seeing with somebody Grapple contend with somebody that she thinks is above her station. I think is sort of what it is, or at least treats them that way. I enjoyed it. My wish is I want to summon a ghost. My actual wish is that I want to get my other NPC in here somewhere. The one that's actually like just my friend.
Yeah.
Which Skurlock was technically my adversarial one, but
Yeah, that one's ended up being a little more friendly than adversarial.
I'm fine with it.
I just got to make the other one an adversary now.
So I want to summon my ghost.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you, Van. Was that it?
Yep.
All right. Sid.
I think Star's gotta go to Fume and that lovely conversation with Will and the story of the two brothers. God damn you. Yeah. Sweet. Also, fuck you, we don't know you're a hole yet. It's great.
Glass no. Well, no,
yeah.
Glass no.
No,
one
Grackle
knows.
knows.
Grackle suspects. Yeah.
Suspects. Grackle knows some shit is up.
Grackle knows that this kid has a problem. She has no idea that he's a hole.
Yeah, I don't think any of us know.
I don't think anyone knows, bro.
We're joking off stream that Grackle doesn't know what a hull is.
Yeah.
Where
that
like
kind of
Fume
bird?
admits to being a hull, and then Grackle says, "Wait a second, what's a hull?"
But yeah, it was lovely, and yeah, it's really nice to see, sort of get the full idea of kind of what's at stake for Fume and all this. So yeah, I liked it. My wish, I think I'm gonna I want to enlist more help in the books situation. I think this could get very, very interesting. So yeah.
I know some
And
sisters.
We know some sisters. We also now have a new patron. So, there's that too. Yeah. I think it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes, me.
So, thank you, Sid. RJ.
Hello, everybody. It's me, RJ. Stars and Wishes. Oh man, I've missed this table. It's a very fun table, so that's gonna be my generic start, everyone. But also, Grackle just eating a punch on the bridge after saying, "What have you done to my birds?" It's like, when did you go like Home Alone 2? Why are you the pigeon lady of New York?
This is just a fucking premonition of what happens to Grackle if she survives long enough.
Does that make Fume Macaulay Culkin? Kevin
Hey,
McAllister?
Give me a Macaulay Culkin, like, hands on the side of your face, like.
Oh, hold on. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, you could be Macaulay Culkin.
I have an affinity for strange and fucked up gadgets. Yeah.
You're not so scary, you know that? Say that again in my face.
Oh, you're terrifying.
My wish. I had one, but then I lost it. Oh no. No, I definitely had one. It's gone now.
Oh no.
Goodbye.
You want to let Wings go? While you
Yes,
try to
please.
remember?
I'll try to remember.
Where all my wishes go to die in my own brain.
My star goes to Salome, for playing the long game. It's a I feel like the spider is the hardest playbook in this particular game because you have to really pay attention to factions and shit. And then I also heaped this like, hey, here's a list of people I need vengeance on. So like
I just I have a notes list just with the vengeance list on it, with just like a bunch of little notes. So it's there all the time. So
I imagine that there's just like a red string board, like with like cork and everything. But yeah, like I had to star that sooner or later because it's all like, actually, yeah, we put a lot of work on you.
so much fun.
So long as we're all having fun. My wish is to get into more backstory stuff. I'm starting to itch for a flashback. I want to see some more of someone's backstory. Doesn't have to be like immediately, obviously,
Yeah.
but like I remembered that we were like, we'll do more flashbacks, and I'm all like, I want.
Yeah, because we did the flashbacks in like the first session, and then now we've kind of teased out a lot of backstory stuff, like hinting at it in the present day. So that might be fun in the next couple of sessions to do some flashbacks during our free play period.
I'm willing to discuss potential flashbacks that may not necessarily come up immediately.
Yeah,
I have an idea or two.
Yeah, I think that's something I want to collaborate with all of you on, so that we can actually, so I don't do anything that's like spoiling your backstories. So, but I'm totally down with that.
RJ, did you come up with your wish?
Yes, actually, it is a far-flung thought. Val, you do not have to take this seriously, but in a city as old as Duskfall, with as many factions going on for probably just as long, there has to be some sort of crime syndicate sports day.
You want a tournament arc?
I'm not a tournament arc. I want a school sports festival day.
You want a field day?
A field day,
which is just a tournament arc with
for
sports.
children.
For children.
But like it's like, who could steal the most gold over the week, or like, who could plant this card inside another person's vault while it's sealed up.
Now I'm thinking about all the tiers as like ranking. Like there's a ranking system for all the factions, and there's like a yearly like.
Oh yeah, these guys are ranked for
like an
bruisers.
NCAA bracket or something.
You participate in leagues, dude, with that are in your your tier.
Oh my god.
You don't have to do it. I just think that'd be a really great idea.
No, but now I want to figure out how to make it work. There is a Blades in the Dark hack that is a like a sports anime Blades in the Dark hack. And I was looking at that the other day, and now I'm like, well, now I've got a reason to use it.
Because like I guess that would work, because then instead of a heist, you would have a game.
Yeah. And you do like flashbacks and stuff during
to the locker room where someone's punching the wall.
That would really
That's
work.
so fun.
Yeah, I looked at it the other day. I can't give credit. I'll look it up because I don't remember who did it or how to give credit to anyone right now. But I was reading through a bunch of Blades hacks, Forge in the Dark hacks, on the drive-through RPG, and I saw that one and I was like, I have to. That's someday I just have to.
I also want to posit Fume will slick his hair back like Nishioya from Haikyuu.
Just like, all right.
Rolling Thunder.
Damn. Well, now this is how I'm going to be entertained for the next couple of weeks until we come back. So thank you everyone out there for watching. I think that was it. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I think everybody did their stars and wishes at this point. We will unfortunately be off next week, but we will be returning the week after that to continue our game. Join us in the meantime for everything we've got going on the channel. I think, like I said at the top, our next one will be Red Jenny on Monday, playing the Dragon Age TTRPG. So come join us for that at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Otherwise, thank you for being here. Thank you to my lovely players for making this a game a joy to run, as always. And thank you everyone out there for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.